It is an all-blue matchup in the East Midlands today as we get back to our first Premier League match back from the international break. Can Leicester turn their form around? Who's going to take the points today? Won't you join us for the watch-along?
Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. Are you ready for the show? Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everard's, Pucka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hologram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newbie and Co-Estate Agents. We want your views, we want your comments, so join us live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, good morning from here in Canada. Very early in the morning out here because we've got an early kickoff coming up in the midday for those of you in the United Kingdom. Leicester City versus Chelsea at the King Power Stadium. Quite the match to come back to from the international break for a lot of the Leicester City players. Going to be a big challenge, especially with the run of form that we're looking to turn around. Make sure to get your comments in and let's have a little bit of discussion about the teams, about the match, about the international break, whatever you want to talk about. We've got half an hour before kickoff, and let's see what's coming right on in here. So at the moment, it is just after 7 o'clock in the morning. Kickoff is going to be at 7:30 for me here. I'm in the eastern side of Canada, but hopefully I will be joined as well by Michael for the watch along. He's another 3 hours before me because he's out on the west coast of the United States. Andy Stewart, looks like you're thrilled to be back from the international break. Yes, we are returning to club football. We're all going to be hoping for Leicester City. Mateus, not too optimistic when it comes to score predictions. We will get to score predictions closer to kickoff as well. Definitely, we all think that this is going to be a must-win. There's been a lot of rumors flying around about Brendan Rodgers, but it seems as though those have been put to bed. So it's time to get back to some normalcy within the club and definitely back to some good results within the club. It's definitely going to be a must. Carmen, good to see you. Hayden, good to see you tuning back in. Without further ado, let's get right into discussing the lineups because those were announced fairly recently, so we can get those up and have a little bit of discussion around that. We'll start off with the lineup for Chelsea. Chelsea are coming forward with a 3-4-2-1 formation. Mendy starts in goal as expected, a back three of Rudiger, Thiago Silva, and Trevoh Chalobah. Midfield 4, of course, does feature Ben Chilwell, as many Foxes fans were expecting. And then Jorginho, Kante, and James will finish up that line of 4. Mount and Hudson-Odoi will sit just behind Havertz as the main striker. Romelu Lukaku left out of the lineup entirely. The Chelsea bench consisting of Alonso, Christensen, Pulisic, Werner, Loftus-Cheek, Barkley, Ziyech, and Azpilicueta. So this is still a lineup with a lot of depth and a lot of talent on the field. So definitely going to be a challenge for Leicester City there. Let's take a quick look at the Leicester City lineup. Leicester City coming forward with a front three, according to what I've been seeing. So a 3-4-3 formation for the Foxes. Kasper Schmeichel, of course, starting in goal, coming off a very impressive international run with Denmark as the UEFA World Cup qualifiers end. Back three consisting of the two usual suspects of Çağlar Söyüncü and Johnny Evans. Rounded off with the addition of Big Dan Amarte. Midfield 4, Mark Albrighton makes his way back into the lineup, coming back from injury. He's joined by Ndidi, Soumare, and Castagne. And then no James Maddison in the starting 11, as the front three will consist of Harvey Barnes, Jamie Vardy, and Ademola Lookman gets the start for this match. On the bench, we've got Ryan Bertrand, James Maddison, Danny Ward, Kelechi Iheanacho, Ayoze Perez, Hamza Chowdhury, Kieran Dewsbury-Hall, Yannick Vestergaard, and, of course, Patson Daka. I know, of course, there's probably going to be a lot of comments on Leicester City's post about that starting lineup as to why Daka isn't starting, but pretty progressive from Brendan Rodgers for a front three for this match. Looks like we're going to be going for the throat off the kickoff, most likely. Big comment coming in from Hayden. One of the big games of the season for us. We need to win this game, and I think we will win 2-0 because we always do well against the big teams. A lot of people saying that this is going to be a must win, and a lot of people coming in with some confidence. Chelsea, of course, the European champions coming into this game, but we do, of course, all know how much Leicester City do struggle against more mid-table and lower league teams, and yet will often breeze away a lot of the traditional Big Six opposition, especially as that was the case last season. And of course, the FA Cup is going to be fresh in the minds of both teams here. Leicester City, of course, for what a boost it was to get a win that really wasn't expected by a lot of the pundits. And for Chelsea, it might bring them in with a little bit of a desire for revenge off of this match. Of course, we did see a little bit of that in the last league matches of last season. But I think at the end of the day, that was the more important match of the two with regards to the silverware that it provided. Keep getting your comments in. I'm going to send the link out into the chat. So if you would like to join us on video and get your thoughts in before the match starts, please click in on that link, enter in your name, turn your camera on, and I would love to have you join us for some discussion. We've still got 20 minutes before kickoff. Get your thoughts in on those lineups, get your thoughts in on the match, get your thoughts in on the international break as well. So I'm a fan of the Netherlands, who just managed to squeak in qualification on the last day of the of UEFA qualifiers by beating Norway. Çağlar Söyüncü putting in a good performance for Turkey on the last day as well, who could have qualified if that result had gone the other way. But Turkey, with their chance to qualify for their first World Cup in a while, with their appearance in the UEFA playoffs. Mohammed coming in here saying, I hope the defenders give their best, especially Söyüncü, so as to not make a blunder. I feel like it's one of the things that we talk about a lot on this channel is that the fact that Johnny Evans is in the lineup means that I think we can expect good things from Söyüncü. Söyüncü is very dependent on who he's paired up with in that defensive line, and Johnny Evans has always been that sort of marshalling force for him. Our defense has still been porous even with his return, but we've been seeing a lot fewer errors from Söyüncü when he has Evans to rely on. Hassan says it's the last game for Brendan Rodgers. I'm not really buying that because he did just come out recently with a statement about how he's still proud to be at Leicester. He's still happy at Leicester. I think we can put some of those rumors to bed, at least until we start seeing like actual contract offers get handed out. Johnny Prego saying, nervous about the back five today. That is a little bit different from what I've seen. So from what I saw for Leicester City, it's going to be a back three. However, it is possible that Castagna and Albrighton might be acting as more sort of versatile wing players. Could be more of a 5-2-3-1 or a 5-2-3 formation for Leicester in that case. However, I think because especially a player like Albrighton, he's not as much of a defensive player. He's someone I think we more rely on as sort of like a midfield marshal, someone who can play crosses into the box. And especially with a front three, I could see ourselves sort of crowding that Chelsea defense. I don't think they're going to be sitting back as much. I really see them being more upfront players. And yes, both Lookman and Barnes have a point to prove for this match. Barnes, his form has been very hit or miss lately, and Ademola Lookman, who's been dazzling quite a bit lately, has been struggling to get into the starting 11, and this time we have seen him getting in there. So we'll definitely be keeping fingers crossed for some big performances coming in from there. Andy weighing in on the Brendan Rodgers debate here. Rodgers said basically the same thing Gerrard said when he was linked with Villa, and look what happened there. There's a lot of politics that goes on, of course, in the transfer market, not just for players, but for managers as well. At the end of the day, all we can do is wait and see, but at least at kickoff this match, Brendan Rodgers is still the manager, and as long as he's wearing our crest, I'll back him. Lee Spencer, I'd have started with Iheanacho or Daka instead of Lookman, to be honest. I'm an advocate for Lookman, at least on my side of things. I think Daka, he's still mostly, at least in Rodgers' eyes, been more of like a cup player when it comes to starting 11, at least. Iheanacho, I think he's definitely hard done by. He's earned his way into the starting 11 a lot more recently. He's been putting in 110%. However, I think that this might be a reasonable starting formation for us because that gives us the opportunity for some of those like-for-like substitutions that we know Brendan Rodgers loves to do in the event that things aren't going our way, say at halftime, normally around that 60th minute mark where we know that Brendan likes to make changes like that. I think that those two could be very influential for us off the bench. Iheanacho especially, because I think he could come on for any one of those front three. He's really good in a central role as well as on those wings because he still has both that technical skill and that pace. I think perhaps it could be a substitute for Vardy if he's not performing around like the 50th, 60th minute mark. Johnny, so this was going back to what you were mentioning about the back five. We played this formation in the first half against Spartak Moscow, and that didn't go well. That is a very fair point. I think that was sort of around the starting time when Brendan Rodgers was really experimenting with his formations. And it looks as though that might still be the case right now. However, Chelsea and Spartak Moscow, very different sides, I think only really linked by the fact that they're owned by Russians. So at the end of the day, I think we're going to get a very clear image within maybe the first 5-10 minutes of this match as to whether or not this is going to pay off. Lee Spencer saying, no creativity in the middle. I bet Soumaré will be off at halftime for Madison. So let's put that lineup back up, and I think we can go a little bit more in depth onto that, especially with what Maxine is saying as well, that the team looks really defensive and that Chelsea will come onto us. So let's bring that lineup back up and take a close look at that midfield. So Ndidi, Soumaré in the center, and Albrighton and Castagna on either side. I can agree that there's not as much creativity, and as well, we might be lacking that player who's going to sort of sit back in behind that back three, and perhaps there could be relying on one of those three of either Barnes, Vardy, or Lookman to sit back a little bit and then play that ball forwards to the other two. I see us trying to play a lot more along the wings than up the middle with a lineup like this. And perhaps that might be why we don't necessarily need that creativity in the middle. I think we'll be relying on Albrighton and Castagna a lot here. And let's see who they might be competing with. They'll be competing with Chilwell and James. And I think it's going to be a very tough matchup for either of those players. Albrighton against Chilwell will be interesting to see. Albrighton, he's not the paciest player, but he definitely puts in the effort when needed. So I'd be interested to see how he performs against Chilwell. It is very defensive playing with Soumaré and Ndidi in the middle. That's for certain. We'll definitely be trying to stop Chelsea from coming up that center. However, I think it will. I think it's something that is very versatile. We discuss a lot the fact that Brendan Rodgers likes like-for-like substitutions. And I think that this lineup really sets himself up well for still having those like-for-like changes, but being able to be tactically different for that. He can make a lot of substitutions here that won't change the formation, but can still change those tactics. So I do agree with you that if things aren't going our way, Soumaré definitely seems like the player that would be most likely to get substituted, especially if we aren't controlling that midfield. And Madison could very easily change that from a very defensive mid four to a very attacking midfield four. Let's get that off the screen again and take a look at some of the comments that have come in here. So Hayden, I do think that is a good front three. I think a lot of fans will feel hard done by if they really like a Iheanacho or Daka, but I think we do need to preserve some of that depth within the squad, and they're two players that can very easily come on and make a difference in the last 40-30 minutes of this match. Yeah, I think a lot of us are going to be saying that this is going to be one of the tougher matches for us this season. Chelsea, of course, a very class team with a very good lineup. The absence of Lukaku will be felt, though, and I think that is going to be a bit advantageous for us if we can really lock down in that back line. Hello, Kane. Good to see you tuning in. Michael is now in. Michael should be joining us for the watch-along as well. He'll be my co-commentator. 4 wins, 3 draws, 4 losses. I think that is our standing in the... Yes, that is our current standing in the Premier League table as it is. So just for a recap with that, Leicester City are currently sitting in 12th. Chelsea are in 1st, clear by 3 points. Now, there is, of course, one of the things that we have discussed a little bit on some of our non-watch-along shows as well is just how tight the table is at the moment. Just 3 points currently separate Leicester City in 12th. From a place 1 point clear in 6th, right in what would be a European place, depending on how the cups finish. So realistically, Leicester City's position sort of serves to deceive our performance. While we definitely haven't been as impressive as we would hope to be up in the area challenging for the top 4, we are by no means down and out of things yet. Niall commenting with the 3 up top, how can we go any more attacking without leaving ourselves completely open? That's pretty much what I'm thinking as well, and it might be why we are going for that more defensively minded midfield 4, so that way we can still kind of keep things more balanced, while at the same time be more attacking up front, because a lot of the times when we were relying on Jamie Vardy just with one person sitting back behind them, or even 2 people sitting back, defenses tend to sort of double, maybe even triple mark him, and we just don't get the balls into the box that we need. A front 3, I think, could really serve to change that. But again, it will be very telling how the first sort of 5-10 minutes of this game goes as to whether or not Chelsea will have smarted that system to begin with. Phil, good to see you tuning in. Fee, as always, nice to see you tuning in. Mohammed, I've been seeing some of your comments coming in. And yeah, Nick Moore's got a bad feeling about this match. Again, I think this is going to be one of those games that's going to be dictated within the first few minutes. And then we're really going to start seeing how this game is going to line up. I don't really see there being much room for a change of momentum, short of there being a change in squads. So until substitutions are made really by either team, by Tuchel or by Rodgers, I don't really see momentum shifting in this game. So this is going to be one where we're really going to need to hit Chelsea from the out. The link is still in the chat. So if you would like to join me, we have 10 minutes before kickoff for a little bit of discussion. Please do. I know a lot of the regular team, like Jamie and Phil, are all down at the King Power Stadium for the match today. They will be trying to tune in, but of course, any of you who have been down to the KP for a match know that cell service is notorious around there. So we will see if they can get through. Yeah, I think it's going to take a big, not only team effort, but a big effort from the individuals in the squad as well. We are going to have to play like we did in the final. We'll be keeping our fingers crossed for that kind of performance. And yeah, Leicester City do need to perform defensively. That's one of the things that we've really been lacking in this season is our defensive formations. We've been a sieve. So if we can get a clean sheet against Chelsea, that'll really help us sort of turn momentum around towards the end of the season. Ross, I've seen you joined in. I know that you don't have too much time, so I'm going to add you in 2 minutes. Yes, I just got that note. So we will be joined by Ross momentarily. But yeah, let's talk defensively about Leicester City, because I know we mentioned the fact that Johnny Evans is a very influential player, and we definitely felt his absence. But even as we've been winning games with his return, we haven't been as solidly defensively as we need to be. I'm going to pull up our last few results just so we can see the scale of the goals we've been conceding. 1 conceded against Leeds, 1 conceded against Moscow, 2 conceded against Arsenal, 2 conceded against Brighton, 1 against Brentford, 3 against Spartak, 2 against United, 2 against Palace. Our last clean sheet was in the Europa League against Legia Warsaw on September 30th. So a lot of goals conceded for Leicester City lately. And one of the things that I will say, again, pulling that lineup back up, is that Dan Amarte has been very impressive. For a lot of the stick that he's been getting coming out of last season, he has really stepped up when put into even a back 3 like this. He performed reasonably well against Leeds as well, and I think we could expect to see a big performance out of him. All right, Ross, I'm seeing you're good to go, so let's add you in.
Yes, lad.
Hello, Ross. Big game to start from the international. How are you feeling?
It's a massive, obviously it's a big game. It always is against Chelsea. Obviously we've had some good memories against Chelsea over the years, some good, some bad. Obviously FA Cup win. Obviously it's the first game since 2020. I can't remember the exact game. We've got not Yuri Tielemans is not in the side because he's injured or anything. So it's going to be interesting how we play. I look forward to it. Be a tough game. Obviously, they're going to watch out for their players. Obviously, N'Golo Conte. I haven't seen the Chelsea team, actually. Is he in the side? I'm guessing Conte?
Yes, he is. Just to show you that quickly here. So he's in the midfield 4 in the center. Chili's in there on the left side.
Oh, God. So you got Chalube, Thiago Silva, Rudiger, Chilwell, Jorginho, Conte, James, Hudson-Odoi, Mount, and Havertz. Oh, they've got a few key players out or something.
Yes. Lukaku is completely out of the lineup. He's not on the bench to begin with.
I can
And then
see that.
on the bench, we've got players like Christensen,
Timo
Pulisic, Werner, Loftus-Cheek.
Yeah, it's still a very strong side. So I look forward to it. Obviously, I think we'll win 2. I think we'll scrape it 2-1. We'll concede from a set piece as we always do. As long as we don't, not passing. I mean, as long as we don't pass from the back, but that's like asking, getting blood out of a stone. So it's got no chance. So we know it's going to happen. As long as we can nick it, 2-1 victory. I'm going to go for.
Have you gotten to see the Leicester City lineup yet?
Go on, put it up because I haven't probably seen it yet.
Because we have been having some discussion in the comments about the fact that it is a rather defensively minded lineup, especially with Ndidi and Soumare as the two main midfielders. So do you think we could see a lot of passing around the back?
Probably. I mean, I'm looking at the bench. Yeah, it looks a decent lineup. Obviously, hopefully be a good atmosphere today. So I'm going to get the game on in a second anyway. So my phone's telling me I've got a software update, so I'm going to have to quickly do that just before the game starts. But now I'm going to say 2-1 Leicester. I think Vardy and do you know what? I'm going to go with Ndidi with a goal.
I like that as a dark horse.
He scored last year against Chelsea, so why not? So there we go. 2-1. I'm going to say. So enjoy. Who are you doing? Watch along with? Is it just yourself? Is it yourself today or?
Should be joined by Michael. Hopefully.
Oh yeah.
Right, so I'll let you
together.
I'll let you go so you can get that update in before kickoff.
Later.
Cheers, Ross. All right. So with that, one of the things that Ross mentioned, we've got a few minutes before kickoff as the players take to the field. Let's get some score predictions in. Of course, we do mention the fact that this is going to be a very, very tough game. However, Leicester City known to perform against big teams. So what are your score predictions for today? I'm going to save mine for after we get a few of yours in. So let's get your thoughts in. How is this match going to end? I saw a few people predicting wins earlier in the comments. If you did happen to comment one, please pop that in again, just that way it's closer to the bottom of the list for me. Hayden, I saw coming in with a 2-0 win. So yeah, get your score predictions in. Nick Narr saying a 3-1 win. We heard Ross predicting a win as well. A couple people saying that they'd like to see some clean sheets. Who knows, that could come if we have switched off from zonal marking. Fee coming in there with a 2-1. Carmen, I think that's you coming in with a 5-2. I'm hoping that's for Leicester. Pete Brown with a 0-0. I'll tell you what, I really think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I don't think there's going to be clean sheets on either side of this. Leicester City have been very good at scoring, but also very good at conceding. I think this is going to be an absolute bloodbath. I think this is probably going to be like a 3-3, if not a 4-4 draw. I think there's going to be a lot of goals scored in this game. I don't think there's going to be a winner at the end of this. I'll tell you what, I think a lot of us would. A lot of us want to just see some solid defending from Leicester. I would love to see a clean sheet again, but I just don't see it in the cards. Not against a team like Chelsea, not in the form that we've been in. I'd love to see it, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, the broadcasters are just showing the Leicester and Chelsea lineups as the players have stood for the playing of the Premier League anthem. Just having their last warm-ups. They should be taking the knee fairly soon. This has confirmed those lineups, so it is a 3-4-2-1 for Chelsea. It is a 3-4-3 for Leicester City. So a very short and wide formation from Leicester. Chelsea populating a lot of the middle with players Havertz, Hudson-Odoi, Mount, Jorginho, Conte, Silva, all playing in the middle of the park there. So I think that we will be seeing a lot of dueling in the middle there for Ndidi and Soumare to deal with. And I can see Leicester trying to play along the wings, playing forward from Castagna and Albright and towards Barnes and Lookman. A lot of attempts to play high into the middle for possibly for Vardy. I know he's not known for his aerial duels, but we will see how that goes. Players are out on the field, just getting a good look at Ademola Lookman. Some handshakes all around. Lookman sharing a handshake with Hudson-Odoi. Just showing Tuchel on the bench, referees coming out onto the field. Very, very close to kickoff now. I've got it as being 1 minute away. Make sure to keep getting your views in as the game goes. Chelsea will be kicking off this match as the referee comes to the center circle. I believe they haven't taken the knee yet, so there will also be that before kickoff. Looks as though there may also be there's a compilation video being shown at the KP. I have to keep the game muted, unfortunately, so that I can keep more of a monitor on both my co-host and the comments. So I'm not sure what the announcement being given is for, but there's a lot of singing going on. Yes, the players are now just taking the knee, and Chelsea will be kicking off, attacking to the left side of the broadcast if you have the matchup on your television as well. And we'll get the score up as we have kicked off. So Chelsea start with possession in their bright yellow shirts. Leicester City, of course, playing in their home strip of blue with the white and gold trim. Michael, I see you've joined in. If you want to give me a thumbs up, I'll add you onto the broadcast and we can get synced up. Ball is out for a Chelsea throw-in. I believe that's a Chelsea throw-in. It's a Leicester City throw-in. All right, so yeah, Michael, just give me a thumbs up when you're ready and I'll add you in. Just showing that Paul Tierney is going to be the referee for this match. And already some tussling football in the middle of the field here as Chelsea are forced to play the ball all the way back to Edouard Mendy. Jamie Vardy already causing problems for the defense for Chelsea, taking advantage of his pace, putting some high press in there, and almost forcing a mistake out of Mendy there as well. Goes in for a sliding challenge on the goalkeeper. So you can see that Vardy is back and ready for this match. Leicester City trying to play it up over the middle towards Lookman, but Rudiger will get there first. And again, play the ball back towards Mendy. Chelsea just trying to take some early control in this match, get calm, get in shape, playing a lot of short passes. Trevor, nice to see you tuning in. Vardy is in the starting lineup. Daka and Madison are both on the bench for this game. There's a free kick for Chelsea as they've got a player on the ground. Just showing a replay on that. Havertz just getting into a tight tussle with Johnny Evans. Looks as though he may have just caught a slight knock to the head there. Nothing malicious from Evans, but yeah, just Evans puts his arms up for momentum and just clips Havertz on the temple. Definitely a free kick for Chelsea, but Havertz is all right, and we have already kicked off from that. Havertz with the ball on the Chelsea wing, forced to turn around and play it back towards Rudiger. Nothing huge in terms of chances for either teams as yet. Chelsea playing the ball around on the right wing, but again, Leicester City playing a high press. Something that we haven't seen as often from Leicester in a long time. Typically preferring to play that sort of sit at the back and counterattack, but we are not giving Chelsea much peace in this game so far. Big Dan Amarte knocks the ball out for a Chelsea throw-in. Chilwell will take that, and he's, again, forced to throw back, and it goes towards Rudiger, who plays towards Silva. A little bit of back-and-forth passing between Jorginho and Chalobah, trying to move forward on the wing, but again, a high press, Castagna giving pressure and forcing them to play the ball back into their defensive three. Big pressure from Wilfred Ndidi. He gives away a free kick on Jorginho, and he will take that quickly, trying to find Havertz on the wing, and does. Albrighton coming back to defend, and oh my goodness, and he hits the bar. That was Ben Chilwell, comes forward, and I think he hits the crossbar with a shot there under pressure from Albrighton there. Just showing the replay on this, he may have been offside there, but that would have been a very close call, and Albrighton just didn't have the pace to catch back up with him. And he plays it up over the diving Kasper Schmeichel and hits the crossbar. So early chance for Chelsea there, but Chilwell cannot put it on target. Dangerous play, though. Michael, you ready?
Bro,
what a chance for you to come into as Chilwell hits the bar.
Kind of woke me up, too. I don't know if anyone knows, but it's 4:40 in the morning here on the West Coast. and I'm up and ready. Let's go. Come on, Foxes.
I was gonna say the sun is gonna be starting to rise here in Toronto, like as the match ends, but you're gonna have like another 2 hours of darkness once the game ends before the sun starts rising out in Seattle.
The sun's not gonna come up till like 7:30, 8 o'clock around here. Wow. Mark Albrighton starting.
I love to see it, but what a match to throw him into the fire for, because super sub Mark Albrighton, I've got his shirt. I love the guy, but boy, oh boy, and we've already seen that he is a little bit vulnerable there against Chilwell.
Yeah, he's getting as much as we love him, he's getting a little long in the tooth. I don't know how old is Kevin. He's 30, 31, something like that.
In and around, yeah. I'll quickly double check that at the next break and play. Leicester City looking to play on the break. Vardy gets the ball ahead of Thiago Silva. Chelsea getting back in numbers, but Vardy breaks into the area, plays it across the goal, looking for Lookman. However, Rudiger will get a foot in there. But some dangerous chances for Leicester there. Sounds like you might be a little bit behind me. If you want, I can pause and we can get synced up.
5:05, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, you're just like 5 seconds behind me. So I'm gonna pause at 5:20.
Okay.
So I'm 18, 19, paused at 20.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Unpause.
Perfect. Yeah, so I've just got the ball with Amarte right now.
Nice.
Awesome. So Amarte will pass the ball forward to Sumare. Or no, that might be Ndidi. High ball over, looking for Vardy, and he nearly collects that off of a... the depth perception aims to perceive there as the ball bounces off of, I think that was Thiago Silva, and looked as though it was going to fall for Vardy. But it does then fall back for Silva, who can get the ball forward. And now Chelsea look to break. Coming forward now with Reece James on the right wing. James plays the ball forward. I think he's looking for Hudson-Odoi there. He plays it back towards James. Cheeky play, goes across goal.
Very cheeky.
But good play by Kasper Schmeichel. He dives across and gets that ball out of play. Or out of the penalty area. And now Leicester look to break again. High ball looking for Jamie Vardy. Chalobah will get there first and head that back to Edouard Mendy. But shows just how quickly this game is moving from a save for Kasper Schmeichel nearly to a break at Vardy at the other end with one kick of the ball.
And that's how dangerous we are anyway. Chelsea will know that. I'm loving the Ademola Lookman start as well, because the way he plays is very aggressive, very direct. And I feel like he has a point to prove to the manager, to the fans. So whenever Lookman comes on, he's giving it 110%. I love watching this guy play. I'm loving the signing.
I think also one of the things that we see a lot with Lookman, I'll get back to that, as Chelsea are moving forward now on the break. Nearly gets the ball to Havertz, but good defensive play by Big Dan Amarte to get in there and stop Havertz before he can get to that ball. Leicester City clear, but Chelsea regain possession through Rudiger. But one of the things that I liked with Lookman is a lot better at holding the ball than I think a lot of the Leicester City front players are. They're typically reliant on sort of dribbling past players, but the moment they're under pressure, it's very easy for like a Madison to lose the ball.
Yeah, or go down. Lookman is very good on his feet. He's very good with the ball, and he's very direct. So like he'll make his mind up really fast when he gets the ball. He's not going to dwell on it kind of like Harvey does, where he kind of rolls it over, switches it back to this foot. Lookman, he's going to get the ball, and he's going to do something with it. He's made up his mind already, and he's going to do it really fast, and it's going to be direct. I like him a lot.
Exactly. Gray, nice to see you tuning in as well. Hope you're well. And Fee letting us know. So Mark Albrighton, born in 1989. His birthday, of course, 2 days ago. So 89 to 21. That would mean that he would be 33 now, I believe, if my math is correct. 32. It's early morning here. My math isn't as great. Rudiger plays the ball across. I think that lands with Chalobah. He plays the ball forward to James. Chelsea's shirts are very bright, so it's a little hard for me to read the jersey numbers here. So that's why I might be getting some of my names wrong for Chelsea. Rudiger plays the ball forward, and I think that was Kante gets knocked off of the ball.
Lookman.
Lookman just gets overtaken by Chilwell there. Chilwell making use of his pace to get forward and knock that ball away from Lookman, and Chelsea will gain possession again and again look to move forward. So misplaced pass. Sorry, go ahead.
No, do the play-by-play.
Yep. So Rudiger will play the ball up and over, looking for Havertz there in the center, but he overcooks his pass, and Schmeichel will collect that for a goal kick.
I was going to say, is this the first time we've played them since the FA Cup win?
We played them in the league after the FA Cup, didn't we?
Was it the very next week or like something like that?
I think so, because that was the whole revenge thing. Was we took the FA Cup, but then they cost us top 4 because they beat us in the league.
Okay. I remember now. I was drunk that week, but I remember.
Who wouldn't have been? Just some calm play at the moment in the Chelsea defensive third. They're passing the ball around. Leicester putting some pressure on their players, but their passing is still pretty stable. I'm going to put Ben's comment up here. Don't like how some of the crowd are booing Chilwell. I thought he did well for us, and we should be happy that we had an academy youth player who we got mad that good that one of the top 6 wanted him.
Ben, are you mad because your name is Ben as well and they're booing? Like, come on, bro. It's the opposition. It's fun. We're giving a little ribbing. We all know he's an academy graduate. He's a Leicester boy. But you play for Chelsea. Boo, man. Boo. That's it.
Another high pass coming over from Mount. Exact same as what Rudiger was looking for Havertz, and exactly the same, overcooks it, and it's out for a goal kick. I can see where both of you are coming from. I mean, when you're in the stadium and you play for the opposing team, you're gonna get booed when you're on the ball.
Boo. Don't boo our guys. Don't boo our manager. Don't boo our guys. That's my take.
At the same time, I will say, though, I think Chilwell gets more abuse online than is due for him.
Yeah, of course. Because when you're a Leicester boy and then you go to a London club and try to get and it's so much money, of course the fans are going to be like, you're too good for us. You're too big for your britches. Of course, people are going to be that way. Don't boo our own guys here at the stadium, and always keep it in good fun. Guys, it's a sport. It's a game.
Yeah. Well, and similarly, like, this is kind of why I sort of align to like you'll get a bit of shtick, but keep it civil. Is like everybody loves Conte.
No,
I don't think you're going to be seeing Conte getting booed at all.
Of course not, because Conte doesn't have a robust social media presence. I don't know.
That's fair. I feel like if you look up Conte, all you're going to get is pictures of him smiling on a bike.
Right, with a trophy, with one trophy, who knows which one, but some trophy.
Yeah. Totally. Chelsea coming forward again. Chilwell passes the ball into the center towards Hudson-Odoi, but again, we forced them to play the ball back, and it's now all the way back with Silva in the center circle. Silva comes forward quickly, though, plays it towards Mason Mount. Mount can't get his pass forward to Havertz, though, and Harvey Barnes gets knocked over, and that's a free kick for Leicester City just off of the center circle.
Yeah, we need Harvey to step it up. He'd continue his progress that he has this season, where he's being more direct with the ball, holding up the play better, and scoring goals. This is going to be a game of attrition. Chelsea, they don't really put a whole bunch past the goalkeeper, and they also try to keep a clean sheet like that's their badge of honor. So this is going to be a game of attrition. Good. Oh my goodness, Johnny.
Little bobbled play there by Johnny Evans as he misses the ball with his own feet and is forced to put it out for a Chelsea throw in before someone can dispossess him. Chelsea take advantage of that, and a little bit of passing around the Leicester players, but there's just a swarm of blue going on, and that ball will go off of Castagna for a corner kick.
Wow. Yeah, this is going to be a game of attrition. Everyone had 2 weeks off. Some of the guys went to their countries and had to take COVID tests and do protocols and quarantines and all that stuff. And then some of the guys just got to sit at home in England and rest and do Peloton or tonal and go over tactics with the manager who's also at home. And this is going to be a game of attrition.
Chelsea have scored off of the corner. And it's Antonio Rudiger. And just like everyone could have predicted, we have conceded from a set
corner. Piece. And Antonio Rudiger is the one who put it on. This guy is like the most scoring center back in the league right now. Antonio Rudiger.
The thing is, you could see it coming too. But
you could totally
were we zonal marking there? It looks like we were zonal marking.
It's not that we do zonal marking. We zonal mark in front of Casper, but we mark the runners at the top of the box. And so it doesn't matter. It's just everyone's. I'm watching the replay here.
He gets away from his man way too easily.
He gets away from his man. Castagna, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you can do. You got to jump. You got to jump higher. I don't know what you're going to do. Like put a body on.
Rudiger's a tall player, but like put Johnny Evans on him. Put somebody tall against him.
Put an elbow in his sternum. Something. Like this is getting out of hand. Like we concede goals from corners like penalties. 5 goals scored from headers this season, Chelsea. Most in the Premier League. I'm sure 3 of those are Rudiger's.
Most likely. You know what though? A lot of game left here.
A lot of game left, and this is what forces us to actually start to play.
We all know that Leicester City don't turn on until they concede a goal.
Exactly.
For some reason, that's been the way we go this season.
I mean, there'll probably be a goal in the next minute by Harvey Barnes the way our club's been playing the last couple weeks. So let's not give up the faith. Brendan Rodgers
ball with Chelsea in the defense really right now. Rudiger, he'll pass it over. Ball with Silva receiving the ball from Jorginho. Under pressure by Barnes, forced to play it back towards Mendy.
Get him, Jamie. Jamie.
Big pressure from Barnes and from Vardy that we just haven't been seeing a lot of players putting on those opposition players.
That is a terrible call.
Yeah, it seems like a cheap free kick to give away. Just seeing that there. Yeah, looks as though almost like he trips over Castagna's trailing leg there. It's a soft free kick.
But in slow motion, it looks like he slips on his own feet.
Yeah, but that's not the kind of decision you get overturned. Chelsea with the ball, but again, we force them to face backwards. Now they're coming forward. Through ball played. Good goalkeeping by Kasper Schmeichel, but the rebound will fall towards Havertz. That shot gets blocked. Chelsea retain the ball, though. It's I think that's Reece James in the penalty area. His cross gets blocked by Castagna, and it's another penalty, aka corner for Chelsea.
We're so scared. Like they get to put the ball on the corner flag, and we're like, no. But
I don't want to see them take another corner.
Don't, especially from that corner. Like, what are we doing?
It's going to be chilly to play this one in.
Yikes. Maybe I should turn this down.
Cross comes in. Up and over everybody, it looks like.
Head to it again.
Soyuncu chases it down, but apparently not before it goes out of play, and that is a Leicester City goal kick.
Come on, Leicester. Ooh.
I don't think we've been playing at the back as much this game, to be honest. Like we definitely haven't seen like the tippy tappy passing that I know always grinds the gears of Jamie this match. Definitely we haven't been playing as well as we should be, given the fact that we're a goal down, but
right. And we just haven't had the ball. Oh,
Ndidi with the ball. He missed his pass towards Sumare.
Intercepts. Ndidi intercepts passes, and it's intercepted by Conte. It's just like, damn it.
And now Chelsea regained possession, but again, forced to play the ball back all the way towards Mendy. Mendy plays the ball up and over, and that is out for a Chelsea throw-in exactly on the halfway line.
Everybody booed Chilwell in the pre-game introductions and cheered Conte. What are you going to do? Sorry, Chile.
Yep. John's saying this could be embarrassing if we don't start playing.
Well, do Chelsea embarrass teams? Do they really put like 2, 3, 4 past teams? Or is it just always like 1-0?
I think they have this season. what was it? Was it Norwich? So they beat somebody like 5-0, I think.
Okay. Norwich for sure. Norwich loves to capitulate at about the 65th minute sometimes.
I'm going to apologize to the commenters. I'm going to quickly jump off this tab for a second just to check Chelsea's matches to see if there was one team that they thrashed. Yeah, 7-0 against Norwich.
Yeah.
7-0 against Norwich, 3-0 against Newcastle.
Come on, Kevin. What a great
I thought Vardy had a good opportunity for a break there. Oh, but he was marked. He was offside.
Well, who's he talking to? Is he talking to the referee? Is he talking to Kevin?
Nick's saying we won't bottle top 4 anymore.
We're doing it right now. What are you talking about?
I was gonna say I don't want to call the season this early, but I still think that we could pull into some sort of European spot. Could be Europa League, could be Conference League.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Not Conference League. Is that even real? I'm looking at the groups at of the Conference League, and I'm like, where?
I mean, I'll be honest though, like I kind of like the Conference League for that though, because it helps you sort of discover other teams from around Europe. Like,
okay,
you're never going to see a team from Gibraltar in the Europa League,
but it sucks because they got to play like Spurs or like like, it's like kind of messed up.
But hey, you know what? When a team like Vitesse from the Netherlands gets a win against Spurs, that means so much to them.
Right. Yeah.
Ball with Hudson-Odoi coming forward on the left wing. He gets past Amarte. Amarte goes in with a big sliding challenge, but he gets the man before the ball. And that's going to be dangerous because that's a free kick for Chelsea on the outside of the penalty area.
What was he thinking here? Does he think he's going to get the ball? Does he? He's lucky he doesn't get a yellow.
Kudos for being big on defense there, but I would best describe that challenge as clumsy.
Yeah, and he's lucky he doesn't get a yellow. I think the ref sees that he's earnest in his attempt to grab the ball, but he's not close. He's not anywhere near it.
No, poorly timed, and he was never going to get the ball from behind him with a sliding challenge.
Yeah, and here's a set piece. It's not a corner, but it is a set piece, so...
Mount standing over it at the moment. Schmeichel directing his wall.
Come on, Casper. I feel like we'd be letting soft stuff in, like that Rafinha goal against Leeds, and he'd be letting some soft stuff in. I just feel like, dude, come on, man.
Mount will take, and it's high over the net. Yeah, Mohammed's saying we've conceded a lot of goals and Brendan Rodgers doesn't seem aware of the problem.
Oh, he's aware. He's aware. I said this at the beginning. You can check all my feeds, my Facebooks, my Twitters, my Insta. I said this at the beginning of the season. As long as we don't have Wesley Fofana and we're just going to be leaking goals, the only way we can stay up top is to score goals. We're going to have to score lots of goals this season. And in the games we've won, think about it. We have scored lots of goals. The games that we've lost, they've been like nil. We scored no goals. And so, when it comes down to it, we're going to have to score goals. 4-3 at Spartak, 4-2 at Man United.
Yeah, I completely agree.
That's what we're going to have to do.
We have at least been seeing some promising news around Fofana. I believe we should be expecting him back after the Christmas break, which was much sooner than expected. At the time of his injury. I know shortly after the game against Villarreal, people thought he was going to be out for the whole season.
It looked really bad.
Tim Hill, is it me or is it always 1-0 against us after 15 minutes?
Right.
It's a question of, do we give away a corner after 15 minutes?
Right.
We normally end up being a goal down.
For all the West Coast people who just woke up and see the screen, it's 1-0, like always, just like, oh my goodness, what are we going?
That's true. Like Anthony Beebe out in I think he's in Los Angeles. What just happened there? Looks like either Albrighton just got knocked down or he just went in for a slide challenge against someone who didn't have the ball.
And the ref called a continuation advantage foul.
But now Leicester City have possession. plays the ball through to Lookman. Lookman dances through Antonio Rudiger, plays the ball towards Vardy. Vardy's up against...
on his right.
He's forced to turn around. Ball goes to Albrighton. Albrighton plays across in, and he fired. Goal!
Man, let's go. Is he off?
It's offside.
He looked offside. Oh
Oh,
my goodness, Kevin, what a ball from Mark Albrighton. And of course, Lookman is at the far post because this guy knows what position he should be in to put the ball in the back of the net. He's waving his arm. And Kevin takes an extra touch. Lookman knows
he's offside by a whole pace. Like that, there's no need to even take that to review. Oh,
good play though. Good play.
Yes.
Good spirit. Good work ethic. This game is not going to finish 1-0, and we will have a goal before this game is over. Let's go.
And I mentioned at the start of the game that I thought we would be making use of that wing play. I'm surprised to see how much we have still been relying on just Vardy through the middle.
Right.
But I wanted to see that. I wanted to see crosses from Albrighton because that's what he's good at. Put Albrighton on corners.
That's all he does. He's going to take one touch and he's going to put it in the box.
Yeah. Is that cross and inshallah merchant? I think what opposition fans would call him.
Right. He's just like from anywhere, over here, right here, inshallah. Go! Let's go, Kevin! No, I'm just playing.
I'd love to see him on the score sheet tonight. Maybe I could even put like a Baldylocks in here. If Mark Albrighton scores, I'll buy the green kit with Albrighton on the back.
There you go. The goal versus Man City on Christmas Eve, I think it was. Vardy puts a cross in with his left foot, and Kevin's at the back post and puts it in. Will be a goal that I never forget.
I'll tell you what, that goal is why I have the Burgundy Mark Albrighton kit, because I made that same bet, and then he did it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Awesome time.
Mateus saying Leicester have to have a record for most offside goals this season. That wouldn't surprise me. But that's what happens when you're a team that's so reliant on the through ball break.
Yeah, playing behind.
You leave yourself vulnerable to offside traps, and you're going to have to try that like 4 or 5 times, and you'll be offside a bunch of them. But the times that it counts, that's why, because it counts.
But Crystal Palace is always offside. Always.
Chelsea just playing the ball up and over from wing to wing at the moment. A little bit of passing back and forth, I believe, between Reece James and Mason Mount.
And I think the stadium is energized off that offside goal call back. I think the players are a little energized. And we're playing this like 4-4-1 block. Mid-block, it looks like.
I'm surprised that it doesn't look like the fans have like their paper clappers out.
What? No clappers? Well, we're going to have to do something about that.
There you go.
This is my clapper from the first lockdown COVID season. I got like a package sent with a whole bunch of stuff, and this was in it. Remember?
I'm hoping I might get one with my Fox Plus membership package, which is in the mail.
Ooh, you got the Plus membership, huh?
I did. Chelsea coming forward now. N'Golo Kante. Shoots from a distance, and it's 2-0.
Wow! N'Golo Kante comes up the field like he's Heung-min Son, takes on our whole team, gets to the top of the 18-yard box, and just pulls the trigger, and Schmeichel just looks at the ball go to his left. What is going on?
That was a big solo effort by Conte, but he was also given way too much space.
What a strike! He looks Johnny Evans in his face and says, "Eat this." And Johnny just takes a mouthful. Casper gets the dribble and has to wipe it up with the napkin. Oh my goodness. What a goal from N'Golo Kante.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, credit to him. That was class by N'Golo Kante. But 2-0 down within half an hour.
We cannot. I don't know who we're missing in the midfield that's going to stop him from dribbling. He took like 5 touches to get the ball where he wanted to before he smashed it with his left foot and put it in Casper's near post. But What are we doing on defense in the middle of the park that lets Conte, of all people, just take the ball from about 45 yards to the 18-yard box with no one challenging him, and zero challenge?
I was about to say that, like, at least on the bright side, Albrighton just made a bit of a fool of Chilwell, but then his pass was just so poorly placed. It was just basically a pass to Rudiger.
Come on, Samari. Oh, we need halftime so bad, and it's only the 30th minute.
Reece James up against Castagna, forced out of play, but it is a throw into Chelsea.
Hi. What's the stadium sound like? I got my sound turned all the way down.
I've got mine turned down as well. Let me check.
Okay, they're singing.
There's songs, but honestly, like, that could well be the Chelsea supporters because they're pretty quiet.
The Chelsea supporters, jeez.
Jono, I know you asked to come on at this time. Are you ready? All right, I'm gonna add you in. I might, if my internet slows down too much, I might bow myself out. Michael, you might need to maintain the commentary.
Yeah, for sure.
Jono, how's it going?
Raspberries.
We're playing counter. We want to play on the counter when we can't defend.
Exactly.
We're sitting back, waiting to counter when we can't defend. What? Why? We know we can see too many goals, right? We've this season we've conceded too many more. I think we conceded more than last year already. I don't know, but we've set up defensive. We set up to counter attack with five.
Kasper Schmeichel gives the ball away to Callum Hudson-Odoi. He plays it across the area, but Dan Amarte Wilfred Ndidi gets in there and stops that from what would have been a certain third goal.
But
one thing I will just quickly close up a couple quick things we were talking about before. Those songs apparently were the Chelsea fans. The Leicester City supporters are silent at the moment.
Well, nothing to cheer about, really, have we?
No.
I didn't think we were going to beat Chelsea. I never knew. I never thought we were going to beat Chelsea. They're top of the Premier League for a reason. They've got a world-class manager. I was hoping we were going to be a bit more. This is nothing like we played against them in 4 months ago in the FA Cup final. We were outstanding in that game. We showed fight and desire. This is just like, it's just like we're on training session.
Yeah, it's just like it's deflating the way that we're playing because like you can tell that we're trying to put things together, but we're just getting outclassed.
Like I'm looking at the stats, right? So far in this game, we've had no shots. They've had 6. They've had 3 on target. We've had obviously none. They've had 71% possession. We've had 29. They've had almost 3 times the passes. Their pass accuracy is 20. Our passes have been awful because they've got 86. We've got 64%. So we're losing the ball often. We've made too many fouls. And
too many fouls?
We're 2 offsides. So
not enough fouls. Not enough fouls. Not too many fouls. Not enough fouls. I'm not talking about yellows or reds, but we got to leave something on these guys. We can't just let them run around the pitch with the ball.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ademola Lookman just went in with a studs up challenge on, I think that was on Rudiger.
That's what I'm talking about. A little heart, a little Roy Kent. Let's go.
Well, currently we are 12th, and if Southampton and Brentford win, we'll go down to 14th.
Yikes. It's like 2018 all over again.
And if Burnley win, that's only 5 points ahead of relegation.
Boy.
Well, we all know we're not in the relegation battle. We know that. We know that.
I was also going to say, like, you're talking about hypothetically being 5 points outside of
that's worst case scenario because we're not.
Let's not forget that like we are also still only 6 points out of Europe.
Right. Yes.
But we're 5 points from relegation. We're closer to down than up.
I'm not saying things are good, but let's also like it. We're not like a Newcastle right now.
Saying we're closer to Norwich than we are to West Ham. No,
that is also true.
That's not true.
West Ham have literally gone right. I'll take Leicester City's heart and soul. I'll put it in West Ham, and you can have ours from 3 seasons ago. That's what it feels like. They've taken what we've fought for 2 seasons, getting to Europe twice, and winning the FA Cup, and West Ham are doing exactly what we've been doing. They've literally.
I predict them finishing 8th this season.
West Ham?
Yeah. They've had a favorable schedule. They've had a couple lucky wins. Antonio is off the chain this season. Oh, my God. Did you see his goal against the U.S. last week? Woo! But, yeah, West Ham.
Also, just for the record, in terms of play-by-play, there hasn't really been anything exciting going on. Just mostly midfield tussles, a free kick for Chelsea, but nothing that's threatened any goals as yet. We will bring that up if anything does happen, but as it stands, it's just pretty much tippy-tappy all around from both teams.
Do you think the question will arise after this game? Is Brendan's time up at Leicester City over? Well, do you think that question will start to come around?
No.
I was about to put up a comment and ask that question because I love Brendan.
I love Brendan, but if we lose this, we've out of our last 5 games, we've drawn 1, lost 2, won 2. But in this time last season in the Premier League, we were top 6. We're in the top 4. This time we're 12th. 3 times worse than we were last season.
The other thing that I would say is I think it is with Brendan that what I loved about him was the fact that he brought consistency to Leicester City, and we've lost that consistency. So while I would rather see him sort it out, and I'd at least like to see him stay long enough to get James Justin and Wesley Fofana back, he's at the very least surely the board are sitting down and having meetings with him. Like, he knows that this isn't acceptable.
Yeah, the club knows, Top knows, because Top, Vichai's dream is for Leicester to keep on going through the ranks and become challenging for one of the top 6 club in the Premier League. Like, we're not proving that this season. We're proving we're a mid-table club at best at this rate. But
I think you guys are wrong. Let me just say why. Did you guys listen to the press conference to Brendan's answer about, and he's actually said this a bunch of times. He is comfortable here. He loves the project. He loves the development of players, the good relationship with the board. He literally named off everybody. He goes Susan Whelan, John Rudkin, Top. He named the entire front staff. He's like, we have a good thing going here, and they trust me. So why would I be talking about going to Man U? Did you guys hear that interview on the Football Forum yesterday or day before yesterday? Brendan is going nowhere, and that's just it as far as I'm concerned. That's the vibe I'm getting. He's not going anywhere. He likes the new facility. He likes young players. He likes developing new players. We as a club like having a top manager. I think that Kuhn Top loves having a top manager. He understands what Brendan actually does bring to the club. And I mean, our ambitions are to be a European side, but at the same time, we are Leicester. So come on, we're lucky to have Brendan Rodgers. We are absolutely lucky to have Brendan Rodgers.
I feel that he came second with Liverpool in the Premier League title. Because he didn't quite get them over the line in that.
He won 3 straight Scottish Premier titles.
I'm gonna pause just for a quick second for a play-by-play update. As it stands, Leicester City have a free kick just outside the center circle. We play it in towards a crowd of players in the penalty area, and that will only find the head of Kai Havertz. And now
Nice.
Chelsea look to break. I'm not sure who it is that's coming forward, but he passes it over towards Havertz. Havertz is in space. He'll pass the ball to Chilwell. Chilwell towards Mount. Mount and Chilwell have it back and forth. Chilwell plays a cross in.
Did that ball go out?
And Kasper Schmeichel will collect it after N'Golo Kante tries to header it, but he crashes into Havertz and both hit the deck.
These guys are.
Do you remember Arsenal a few seasons ago when everyone was saying Mikel Arteta out and they were 15th at Christmas? Do you remember that?
Yep.
Yeah. Everyone was saying Arteta out and believe in the process. The board was like, we believe in him. We want more time. All the fans were like, we want him out. And it's in this sort of situation where exactly the same. Do you think it's a good time for Leicester to not be in Europe for one season just so we can, not have many injuries?
Yeah.
we've had a lot of injuries last 2 seasons. We've Tielemans out. We've had Fofana, Justin, Vardy's been injured. Iheanacho's been injured. You know, we can count. Players been injured more than once. Evans has been injured. Barnes has been injured. So, do you think it's a good time for us just to not try and get mid-table or close to top 6 as possible?
We have a lot of money to recoup.
Do you think it's a good time for Leicester not to be in Europe for 1 season and just have a more relaxed season next season and try and focus more on the cups and trying to get in Europe again the next season after?
Tactically, I think that's a very fair point. But what I worry about with that is just that, and I know there's Chelsea fans in the chat who are going to absolutely rip into me the moment I say this, but we don't have the name prestige that Arsenal has. So not being in Europe is more dangerous for us because it leads to more players leaving.
Right.
There's players who will stay at Arsenal because it's Arsenal and they know how big Arsenal is around the world.
We're in London.
Leicester City is getting there, but we aren't there yet. So if we do go a season without Europe, that's putting Tielemans at risk. That's putting Maddison at risk. That's putting Justin at risk. That's putting Fofana at risk. Like we risk losing a lot of our core talent if we can't keep them at Leicester with the offer of European football.
Right.
But if you look at other, if the players stand by the manager and the players stand by the club, Aubameyang didn't go, all these, Leno didn't go, Saka didn't go, big players at Arsenal, Smith Rowe didn't go, big players at Arsenal didn't leave that season. So
they're in London. They're in London.
But again, that was going to be my counter question though, was like, but is that because they really believed in Mikel Arteta or because they knew they were playing for a team that had a huge name, was giving them a huge paycheck and they got to live in London?
Yeah, like it's different when you have to go 2 hours on the train up to Leicester. It's just like no one's here. You got these 2 universities. You got a bunch of kids running around.
I'm gonna put the pessimism on hold for 1 second because we've got another free kick played in. Oh, ball nearly falls to Johnny Evans. He keeps the ball in, goes towards Soyuncu, and it is called out for a goal kick. And some choice words for the referee from Johnny Evans there on that call.
Oy.
We are missing Yuri and Maddison so much today.
Right.
The stats say it all. No shots on target in pretty much half time now, isn't it? So
yeah, it's we're in the 41st minute at the moment. For any of you that are watching at home, 41 minutes, 28, 29, 30, as Mendy sets up to take the goal kick.
How do you get behind me? I'm 40, 41, 42. I don't understand. It's kind of weird. How did you get behind me?
Well, I think it's also just because so I'm set up in a different place right now because it's early enough that I don't want to wake up everybody else that's here.
Yeah.
And my internet is a little bit worse, so my stream might have hiccuped once or twice. We'll get synced back up after halftime.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 5:12 here. I know the house is sleeping, but where I live, my area, I live a basement apartment. I have I don't know, 100 square feet and no one with me, but upstairs is like a whole family. And when Leicester puts one in the net, everybody has to wake up.
I was about to say, do you get the broom being thumped on the floor?
No, they know it only lasts for 2 hours, so they're not really tripping. But
Chelsea are forward again with the ball on the right wing.
Do you agree with this comment?
No.
I don't. I think we've got a massive injury problem. I think it's been very tough to maintain a consistent squad that has that connection to get momentum. We've always had to make, we've got no Maddison or Yuri. Yuri's been our rock, even though he's been playing great. He's been consistently scoring mad goals and stuff. So I think we haven't had our team as strong as it could be for a long time. I don't think it's the manager's fault completely. He, some of his decisions are wrong, but we haven't had all our best players at one point for a long time.
I'd agree with that.
Which I think is why we've not seen consistency.
was also just going to say, if you saw me kind of sink into my chair there for a minute, that was because we took a throw in and then immediately just passed the ball to the hotels.com billboard on the side of the stadium.
And Kevin over here, he goes, like, it's just really
that comes at the half, doesn't it? That does.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm waiting to see a shot on target.
Yeah, they just showed the attempt stats, and the bars are entirely yellow. 0 shots, 0 on target for Leicester. It's a rough game.
We're winning the fouls department. We're winning with 10 fouls. We're winning.
You'll love to see it. That's English football right there. No shots on target, but winning in fouls.
Are you there, Michael?
Hey, Johnny.
Chelsea coming forward. Johnny Evans, big tackle there, and it's a free kick. I thought that was a fair challenge on Havertz, but free kick to Chelsea in a dangerous area.
Would you take Unai Emery?
No. Stop.
No. Because I think if Emery couldn't find consistent success with Arsenal, I don't see him finding it with Leicester City.
No, Gary, it doesn't take out an attempt, because if it's ruled offside, it technically isn't an attempt. It's just an offside decision. So technically, no, it's not an attempt.
Yeah. Now, one thing that I will say with regards to like is this not the players, is this the manager? One thing that I have been annoyed with, and like I see other people commenting on things like that, is that we have been dealing with injuries a lot, and like I'll say that excuse until I'm blue in the face. But a truly world-class manager has alternative plans for when his squad isn't at full capacity. And we haven't seen that from Brendan.
Look, last season and the season before, all we did was complain about how we have injuries, we don't have the players to rotate, and Brendan would put out the same 11 match after match, and we were winning. But in order for us to contend and stay in Europe and get top 4, we have to rotate the squad. So the players have to be ready to play when your name is put on the sheet. You're not going to get regular football all the time if you're a squad player. And Harvey, if you're not scoring all the time, you're going to be a squad player. Sorry, bro.
Chelsea's free kick hits the wall, bounces around a little bit. Kasper Schmeichel has now been booked for some reason. I assume probably dissent. And the ball is currently out for a throw-in as they show Yuri Tielemans and his family. Now, I will also make clear that like I know I sound pessimistic, but part of it is just like my tone's a little down just because it's early in the morning and I'm not a morning person. But also I do want to make clear that I am still pro Brendan. Like I want to see him stay and fix this, because honestly, I don't see Leicester City getting a better manager than Brendan if we sack him.
Yeah, who are we going to bring in? We're not going to be able to bring in anyone.
Like realistically, if we sack Brendan, I would say like the two most likely candidates. Like people always throw around like Zidane and Ten Hag, and
we're never
before he went to Tottenham.
Zidane.
Like we would end up most likely with like Sean Dyche or Graham Potter.
Right.
And I don't see them doing better than Brendan is doing with this team in the scenario that they're in.
Oh, well,
I can't see where next thing's going to come from.
It's going to have to be magic. It's going to be from one of the subs, and it's probably
like when's our
going to sacrifice Lookman.
Like Ben Morgan, I know you've been calling for Gasperini quite a bit from Atalanta, but one of the things that I'd say is that I feel like Atalanta is a bit like the Leicester City project of Italy. They're that sort of like scrappy team that's pulled its way up the league. They have a good beneficial owner. They're a well-run club. Is Leicester a big enough draw to pull someone away from Atalanta, given our spot in the table and where we are right now? They realistically have the same ambitions of European football, just in a different country, and Gasperini is in his home country at least right now.
Right.
I'm looking at our upcoming fixtures. We've got Warsaw, Watford, Southampton, and Aston Villa, who in virtually all below us in every table, apart from Warsaw in the Europa League. But theoretically, we could beat all those teams. I think for me, we have to win 4 in a row.
Yeah, I'm gonna get off because my phone is dead. I don't know what's going on, why I'm frozen. But I'll see you guys at halftime, at the start of the second half. See you guys.
Yep, I'll take you off, Michael. So that is halftime. 2-0 to Chelsea at the half. One of the roughest first halves of football that I've done a watch along for, I would say.
Yeah. thing is, I expected it. Like I was seeing the lineup, and I was thinking we're setting up for counter, and we're setting up for a counter-attacking game when we can't defend, and that all. I'm like, why? I understand why we're doing it, because we can't obviously match them for 90 minutes at the moment, but playing a tactic, I'd rather us just actually going at all ham and losing 2-0 than rather just sit in the back and get no shots at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I totally, and I mean, I think one of the whoops, that was not supposed to go on screen. I want to. We mentioned at the pre-match that our lineup does permit like for like substitutions position-wise that can still permit tactical changes to become more attacking. So I do not see any way for Brendan Rodgers to go through this halftime without making a change. And there are
tactical change. He has to
easily options that we can do to become more attacking.
I think go back to back three immediately. Take off. I mean, 2 substitutions now. Barnes and Lookman off immediately, and bring on Maddison.
That's an interesting. I wouldn't bring off one of the attacking players. I'd say that you'd need to bring off Ndidi or Soumare for Maddison, and maybe switch to a what's our lineup at the moment? Our lineup at the moment, I believe, is a 3-4-3. I think maybe you could switch to like a 3-3-1 or 3-3-1-3, maybe even like a 3-4-1-2, but have somebody sit back behind a couple players, have that person be Maddison, but still be able to play the ball over towards multiple people in the box.
I don't know. To be honest, even he needs to do something, because I don't know what he can do. There's multiple options. The team we've got out gives multiple options. We can play 3 at the back. We can play 4 at the back. We can do multiple things, but he needs to do something. Like every comment now is literally rubbish, garbage, clueless. No,
I want to put more comments on screen, but it's all synonyms of each other. Like
literally that.
Yeah.
That.
I'm also going to put this one up that's a little bit worrying. Chelsea didn't need to get out of first gear. It's been, not only has it been pedestrian by Leicester, but this could get worse.
If it will get worse if we don't do anything. I want Brendan to make a change, because that, for me, will show that he's not happy with how things are going. If he doesn't make a change at all, that says to me that he's happy, and hopefully it will turn around. That's what I'm thinking. If he makes a big change, as I'm bringing 2 subs and change the tactics, that for me says he's not happy at all, and he'll make a change. But if he just sits back and go, yeah, it'll work out, that's when I know maybe he's not doing his best. Like, I don't think he's the right manager, because he's not realizing that what he's doing is not working.
Yeah, that's fair. Now, I will also say that, like, I do not want this to turn into like an Arsene Wenger or a Mikel Arteta situation. Like, I don't want to see the fan base like fractured into Rodgers in, Rodgers out people. Like, let's still, even if you want him out, like, let's still back him as long as he is the manager. But clearly, we do need to see changes at halftime. One thing I would like to see from all of y'all in the comments: drop in what changes you would make. Who would you substitute? I saw a few people that were putting that in. We've also got a few other folks on the West Coast that have been waking up early for this match. I saw somebody saying they would bring Albrighton off. Yeah, Lee Spencer. Bertrand on for Albrighton, Maddison for Soumare, Iheanacho for Amarte, stock Castagna into a back 3 with Barnes going on the left wing, and just go for it.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think we chose that form. Someone said we're resting players. We're not resting or giving time to different players. We picked this team selection because Tielemans is injured, and we can't. I think we had to go with a different style of formation based on a few injuries. But I think now we just need to get all out. I'd rather concede 2 more than go full out and be out there throw all game, rather than sit back and go, right, we'll counter when we can. And because Chelsea defending, flawlessly, they're stopping everything. They're getting us on the offside trap. So we have to do something.
Yeah, and I think also when we were talking about injuries earlier, this is someone who we have been missing quite a bit, as well as Ricardo Pereira, not in the lineup. I believe he took an injury. He's not out long term, but he's definitely another person that we've been missing.
Yeah. When we got into Europe the first year, when he was in the squad all year, he was just like, he was sensational. You know, he's one of the best right backs in the league. So
I also I think it definitely says something about our corner marking. They just showed a stat on the broadcaster that I'm watching with that was Premier League goals per opponent by Antonio Rudiger. And it ticked up a whole bunch of teams like Man City 1, Southampton 1, Leicester City 4.
Yeah. We are the worst team in the country, not just the league, the country, defending set pieces. We are headless chickens. We can't. It just seems like we just stand there and literally go, "Oh, what's that? Oh, it's in the back of our net." We've got no. It doesn't seem like we've got any tactics of defending set pieces. Yeah, why this one? Why is Albrighton marking Rudiger?
Yeah,
to be marking Rudiger.
It's honestly not fair for Albrighton because he's just not. I love the guy, but he's not a big enough player to mark Antonio Rudiger.
That's just offensive.
Yeah, that's
offensive.
I was going to say, I feel bad for the San Marino players for how much flack they're taking online, but we are better than we could beat San Marino.
I think we could beat San Marino, but
at the same time, like for all of you people like slandering the San Marino team, I will also say like they're a semi-professional side. Get you and your pub mates out to play against England and see if you don't concede 10.
Yeah.
Like these people work as like accountants and lawyers and everything, and they play football on the side.
Someone made a comment, we're making excuses. I'm not making excuses. We have been poor. Brendan has not, tactically, I think, done the best he could do in terms of getting us wins. But I think the reason why he's changing the team often and changing the formations often is because of injuries. Like, yes, we should be doing more with the players we have got, but the reason why we're changing so often, and I think the consistency isn't there, is because we're changing so often.
I think one other thing that I would say as well with regards to like making excuses, like neither of us are happy with how we're playing. But the other thing I would say is like Brendan Rodgers got us consecutive fifth place finishes in the league, one season while playing in Europe, inheriting a team that was finishing in the bottom half of the table. There need to be reasons why you suddenly go from that to this. A manager does not simply become bad in one summer and become terrible. There have to be reasons as to why this is happening, and that is what we're trying to figure out.
Well, last season, this whole, year, as in terms of January to now, we haven't been playing great. You can name the good performances on your fingers, Chelsea in the FA Cup final, Manchester United a few weeks ago. Those are the sort of games which stand out to be, brilliant performances. But even though we weren't playing great since the beginning of this year, we've still came fifth. Something has happened in the change room or behind closed doors that's made us not, last 3 seasons we've came off the start of the season, we've been bossing it. We were top 4 in the first few weeks and we stayed there for ages. But this season it's opposite. I think will it change after January? I don't know. I don't know what's happened, but we're just not the same we were last season.
Yeah, and I'll also say, like Anthony, admittedly, part of it is also my bias. I just really like Brendan Rodgers because I think we struggled to find consistency, and I thought that he was a manager that was bringing us that after what we got those last 2 seasons. And also, we were getting close to top 4, and I think we can still challenge for Europe even with this side. I see it all as part of like a much broader process. So I didn't really see it as blowing top 4 for a couple seasons, but I saw it as part of our progression from a mid-table team to a European challenger. We'll have that point where we're falling out of Champions League for a few seasons. And also, one season does not a disaster make. Jamie came all the way from Alcudia.
Yeah, when I saw him outside the Blues bar with a pint, I'm like, oh God, he's gonna be
fuming.
He is. I tell you what's happening right now. He is in the bar with Phil, shouting at him how angry he is. Jamie's been bottling his anger. You can tell on stream he's been bottling his anger for a while, which he should be. We've been awful, but he's gonna, after that half, he's gonna let rip. He's gonna let rip, and Brendan will hear him. I promise you, Brendan will hear him from the dressing room how angry he is, because Jamie loves Leicester, and he wants us to be performing well every week. And you can say some weeks, yeah, we were excellent and we lost a better team, or we were unlucky, but we've been playing poor and got lucky with some wins. We just beat Norwich. We just beat Norwich this season. That says it all.
Lee Spencer, thank you for the £1.79 super sticker. Super chat. You got some love for Brendan going on in here as well. Yeah, it's a fair debate for questions to be being asked of Brendan Rodgers. And I definitely think that it's been disappointing that we haven't been seeing more tactical variety from him, because clearly what we're trying right now isn't working. And I also don't think that losing 2-0 to Chelsea is not emblematic of a disaster going on, but the stats are worse than the scoreline makes it look.
Yeah.
We have been very poor this first half. Leo can... flying from Australia to England in a few weeks. So are you actually going to Leicester to see a match? Because first off, really nice. Glad to see that that's happening and that travel like that is possible again. I'm hoping maybe my vacation days are all taken for this year, but I'm hoping maybe early 2021 might be able to get to England, make use of my Fox membership.
Great put Leo say there. Yes, we may be playing really poor. Yes, it's not been playing well. But, no matter how bad we're doing, I'll always adore my club. I'll always love my club. Whenever I get the opportunity to see Leicester, even when we play poor, it's the atmosphere. I love watching my team. I wouldn't say don't go, because I'll always love to see my club whenever I can. But I do agree, when you do go, you want to see just some sort of fight. You want to see determination. You want to see, like Michael says, you want to get him stuck in. Get stuck in and, have a fight. But, I would never say don't see our club, matter if we're doing poorly.
Absolutely. Because also, at that point, what are you supporting your club for if you only want to go and watch them when they're playing well?
Pick your Leicester man of the match moment. Man of the match, please. The fans.
James Maddison. He looked good on the bench.
Maddison kept the seat warm.
Yeah, did a very good job keeping that seat warm. But yeah, I think the one thing that I would also say is even in this form, I would pay a lot of money to go to England and see Leicester City live. Even a match like this, because it's not just you go to see your team win, but you go for the atmosphere. You go to meet other Leicester City fans. You go to, potentially get the chance to get a shirt signed. You go to get a picture with Filbert. There's so much more to this club than just good performances on the field. And I don't think you should ever tell a fan to not go to a match.
So we've had two changes. It's the two changes I said. Lookman and Barnes off. For Nacho and Madders on. So that says to me, I'm happy he's done that. That says to me, Brendan is nowhere near happy with what's happening. He's making a tactical change. But what I'm thinking is if he knew how to change the tactics a little better, why did he play this from minute one? That's what I'm thinking. Why didn't he play? If Maddison's on the bench, he's fit to play for 90 minutes. That's why, if he's on the bench, he can play all game. Why is Maddison playing the full game?
We can all hypothesize what Brendan's thinking. I think that it may have been that he didn't want to put all of his cards on the table immediately and then have no better option to put on if things were going wrong. But
I'd rather from the beginning, and I'd rather show all our cards straight away than we would be going 2-0 down. If you show all your cards, if you show all your cards straight away, Chelsea might go, "Whoa, wait a minute, Leicester are serious, but let's not go. Let's But now they're like, "Oh, Leicester aren't in it today. Let's take the opportunity," and they've done that. Now they're going to go in.
Leicester City already coming forward. Jamie Vardy with the ball off of Maddison. His pass across the penalty area is saved by Mendy, but immediately We are back on the attack.
We've had one shot in 1 minute in the second half rather than 0 in the first half. So already an improvement.
Michael, I saw that you just asked for the link. I'm going to pass that over onto the Facebook chat for the content team.
I need to jump off for the second half, but I will be on after the match for my after the match views.
Sounds good. All right.
When Michael's back, I will jump off.
Sounds good. Yeah, I just sent him the link, so we should be back on soon. So I will also say, if Brendan does get the sack, you will make a better manager than I, because you clearly know the changes that need to be made.
I think it's pretty. I'm not saying I'm a good manager. If my friends are watching this, they'll think my football knowledge is awful. But it's if things are that bad at the moment, you can easily see what changes need to be made to improve the team. You can tell, like, why are we playing defensive when we can't defend? That's like saying a bit like, oh, I've just given birth to a baby. You drive a plane. Makes no sense.
Chelsea coming forward on the right wing. Through ball play. Johnny Evans will intercept and pass it back to Kasper Schmeichel. Schmeichel will hold the ball and plays it high over towards Amarte, who's immediately under pressure. Johnny Evans will clear up towards the halfway line, and Chelsea will regain possession. Although, again, Leicester City trying to play a little bit of a high press on that Chelsea back line. Oh, we got Michael back.
It looks like the same position he was from when he was on last time. His screen still him like.
Michael, can you give us a thumbs up just so we can check that your video is working? I think you might still be frozen there.
Yeah, I think he's still frozen.
Leicester City with the ball on the right wing, but dealing with a high press. Castagna forced to play the ball back to Schmeichel. But even Schmeichel getting pressed by Havertz at the moment.
I love this comment because we're all forgetting that Michael said the perfect thing. Brendan knows every single behind this team staff member. He knows all the players. He knows why he loves Leicester. He knows why he's here. He cares about Leicester. He wouldn't just come here and go, I want the money and like I'm at a bigger club than in Scotland. I'm here. He cares about the club and he wants Leicester to succeed. He loves the owners. He loves the philosophy. So that's why I admire Brendan, because of those reasons. If he didn't care, then I want him gone. He cares. That's why I really like and respect Brendan.
I think that's a very fair way of putting it. And it is kind of similar to how I feel as well, because I mean, and people talk about the fact that like Brendan can be very self-serving. He said that like his greatest inspiration is himself. He left Celtic when they were on the verge of making Scottish history. But he has seemed more committed to Leicester in the little things that he has done than he had seemed at Liverpool or Celtic.
Well, like Newcastle, Spurs, and Man United have all been linked to Brendan since Manchester United aren't doing well either. Consider for Manchester United, they're not doing well either. But he's knocked them on the head and said, "Look, I'm staying." He's not said, "I'm not no comment or anything like that." He's been open about it.
I would say, in all fairness, he didn't say, "I'm not going to United." Quote. He said that the rumors aren't real, that like he hadn't received an offer. So he, in all fairness, like just in purely legal terms, he has left that door a little open at least. However, there are people saying that Ollie should take over as Leicester City manager, which I would not be in favor of at all.
I'll tell you this. We've got right. Let's have a look at the matches we've got coming up. We've got when my computer works.
I think you said it was Legio, Watford, and then Southampton, right?
Southampton and Aston Villa. Right.
Ooh, Stevie G coming to town.
So, with those 4 teams, if we don't win 3 out of those 4 games, I'll be like, okay, because we should be beating Watford. We should be beating Southampton. We beat Southampton 9-0.
Yeah, I would say that I think Aston Villa is the only match there where we can't go in like expecting a win. even in our current form, we should be able to beat Watford. We should be able to beat Southampton. Will be nice to see Claudio Ranieri again. Dilly ding, dilly dong. And then Legia could give us problems just because Leicester City have not played well against any of our Eastern European opposition.
Mm.
We didn't do well against Slavia. Didn't do well in our last game against Spartak. Legia gave us hell in the last match.
Is that true? We're playing side-to-side passing again.
Not as there's been a lot of like short passing, although that's a long ball looking for Jamie Vardy that's well overcooked and goes right into the arms of
Do you think that's one? Do you think that's one tactic which is dead and buried? The overlob to Vardy.
Maybe. I think it's because so many players they play sort of high. They double mark Vardy essentially to make sure that that we're not able to do that, because that was what worked so well for us in the title-winning season. You know,
in 2 seasons it's worked, but I think now we need to find a different Leicester's own style. Still the same counter-attacking style, but without lobbing it over to Vardy.
Yes.
Mike said there couldn't be any about that one. But I'm not saying we could. I'm not saying we should. I'm not saying we can beat them. I'm not saying our current form there'd be a tough game. But in terms of the club players, as our players and the stature, we're saying we should be beating them. I'm not saying we will. I'm saying we should in terms of club stature.
Exactly. Yeah, I was going to say I think it's with even in our current form, like even if on paper we should, it will look as though we won't do as well. We should still expect to win a match like that on principle. Chelsea breaking at the moment, ball into the penalty area, held up at the moment. Leicester City players coming back in number. Shot is taken, and a elbow save by Kasper Schmeichel just barely stops Ben Chilwell from making it 3-0.
He just put Mohammed just put again both.
Michael, your video does seem to be working again. You good to get added back in?
Yeah.
What a moment to get added back to as nearly becomes 3-0.
This game, I mean, what's going on here? We made the changes at halftime that I thought we really, really needed. We needed Madison and Iheanacho.
Chilwell plays the corner in. It's cleared by Johnny Evans. Chelsea regain possession.
Casper.
Cross played in, I believe, by Hudson-Odoi. Nearly finds Rudiger there, but goes up and over everybody, and Casper will collect.
Well, since you're back, Mike, I'm going to shoot and get back to work. I'll be on at end of the match, just get my opinions, more voice about how shit we've been. Sorry, how bad we've been.
Absolutely.
All right, Jono. And also, we're not past the watershed yet.
No, I'm bad. I meant bad, awful, shocking. That's the word.
Shocking. There you go. All right. Thanks for joining us, Jono. We'll see you at full time. So a little bit of positivity coming into the second half, but not great, especially on that play from Chilwell there. I still don't see us getting back into this match fully yet, as a dribbling shot from Hudson-Odoi falls into the arms of Kasper Schmeichel. What time are you on at the moment? Because we'll get synced up.
Let's see, 5, 13, 14, 15, 16.
You're 55?
I'm sorry, 54, 20.
Okay, yeah, I'm at 54:35 at the moment, so I'll pause at 54:45, and we'll get synced up.
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 45 paused.
Okay, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Perfect. Ball with Johnny Evans, passed forward towards Ndidi. And yeah, I mean, a lot of us, the form is definitely unacceptable at the moment. Especially even with how close the league is. Like, a team with this squad should be doing better than 12th in the league. We should be doing better than no shots on target against Chelsea.
Another corner.
Yep. And Lee is already preparing to go 3-0 down.
Give me a second. I get some water.
Yep. And see, with Mateus is sort of where I'm lying on this thing. Is that, like, on paper, compared to it, if we can get a full effort from the players and the manager, if we can get our tactics right, those are games we should be winning. Yeah, like I see us at the very least on paper being on par with a West Ham. As the cross gets played in, Kasper Schmeichel punches away. Jamie Vardy will chase down, but it will get collected by Chelsea. Can't tell which player that is just yet, but he gets that was Conte gets slide tackled by Jamie Vardy.
Madison.
Oh, it was Madison, and that is out for a Chelsea throw-in. No, it's out for a Leicester throw-in.
Leicester throw, good harassment by Madison. He comes in the game with energy, and all of a sudden wants to track back on D. Come on, bro, let's go.
Exactly. Ball played to Amarte by Evans. Forward to Sumare, back to Amarte, over to Ndidi. Ndidi under pressure by Mount. Oh, but Mount just falls right over.
Oh.
I don't know why we played the ball backwards there, but a high ball played over towards Nacho. He collects the ball.
Nice.
Triple marked, and a little poke tackle from Silva knocks the ball out.
Hey, that's a foul.
66% possession for Chelsea, 11 attempts to 0. Ndidi with the ball now on the wing. Tries to play a low ball over towards Iheanacho. That gets intercepted. Iheanacho pressuring Silva, though.
Very nice.
And hoofed out of play by Jorginho for a throw-in to Leicester City. Chilwell calling for a foul that he will not get.
Absolutely not. Iheanacho and Ndidi had a amazing international break. I watched all their games. Nigeria had a great international break. And
first shot on target for Leicester City comes from well outside the box.
James Madison.
From James Madison. It will just tumble into the arms of Mendy and the goal. Not really challenging him, but hey, we're on the board. Only
Madison,
took 57 minutes.
He's all about the stats. You know it. He hit the target first.
Good tackling by Ndidi, regains possession for Leicester, and Madison overcooks his pass to Sumare. But Leicester will get a free kick just outside the center circle. There's not too much to discuss when there are just pauses in play, because again, it's just been everything has been said. It's been a very lackluster performance from Leicester so far. Madison plays the ball up and over, looking for Nacho. It's overcooked a little bit, but Nacho keeps the ball in play under pressure from Chilwell. He gets around him, plays the ball. I think that was
come on, Nacho, let's
plays
go.
Across in, goes up and over Mendy, but will fall to Chalobah, who will chest the ball back.
What a good ball from Albrighton. And it kind of falls. It falls. It hits the ground in the box, doesn't it?
Yes, it did. It went up and over Mendy, into the ground, into Chalobah, who then sort of chested the ball back towards Mendy.
Daniel was floating around the far post there. That was a good ball from Albrighton.
And see, and that's why Albrighton stayed on the field, because he's big defending there by Johnny Evans, just hurdles Havertz to the ground. Fair challenge.
Johnny Evans also had a great international break.
It's a shame that Northern Ireland has been haven't been able to qualify for too many major tournaments, because I'd love to see Johnny Evans at like a Euros or a World Cup.
They have a lot of good players too.
Ball played up and over towards Havertz. He has the ball in the penalty area, gets tackled by Mark Albrighton. Sorry, that was Chilwell. Dispossessed by Mark Albrighton in the penalty area. And it is another penalty come corner for Chelsea.
For sure. But great.
Again, credit where it's due. That was a gorgeous through ball that was played high over all of the Leicester City lines to a Chilwell who was basically in space, but good heads-up defending by Albrighton. Corner gets cleared away and will fall back towards who will that fall towards? I think Chalobah. Chelsea preparing to make 2 substitutions. Pulisic looks like he's going to be coming on, as well as their number 22, who I need to check who that is.
Hakim Ziyech.
Yes, the signing from Ajax, I believe. Chelsea coming forward again. It's Kante on the outside of the penalty area. Gets dispossessed. Wilf Ndidi now has the ball, and now Leicester City look to come forward with pace. High ball looking for Vardy that is just well overcooked.
Cooked.
And Chalobah will collect that well ahead of Vardy.
Vardy with the pressure. Oh, nice.
Little turn there that leaves
Kill.
Madison flat-footed. Conte now with the ball. A little bit of back and forth. Leaves the ball with Mount on the wing. A little bit of back and forth with Conte. Mount will play the ball over towards Reece James. James crosses over to the other wing.
Yikes.
Coming forward now, Hudson-Odoi with the ball in the penalty area. Knocks over his man. Takes the shot and nearly went up and over the net by Callum Hudson-Odoi there.
We are all out of sorts on defense. I don't know what's going on. We don't look good at all. This is bad. And who's that hanging his leg out in the box like that? Is that Kevin? He needs to come off.
I don't know if that was Kevin or not, but Jono dropped the stats for the match into the game at halftime. 10 shots to 0. 5 shots on target to 0, 66% possession to 34%, and a pass accuracy rate of below 70% for Leicester City there.
Wow. How is that even possible?
Which, for a team that is so dependent at the moment on short passing and possession retention, that is horrific.
Yeah. It's like almost every other pass is to Chelsea instead.
Wishful thinking, maybe these substitutions could disrupt Chelsea's momentum and flow. So Havertz is off for Pulisic.
Or maybe Pulisic is on fire from his international break and he's going to come here and just like do it to us in the next 3 minutes.
And Ziyech is on for Mount. Hey, Canada is currently #1 in the CONCACAF World Cup qualification.
We both did it to Mexico this last break. 2-0.
I loved the Canadian team was having a little bit of banter because we played that game in Edmonton, which for those of you that aren't Canadian is a notoriously cold city. The winters there are awful just because it's nowhere near any rivers or lakes or anything like that. Big shot from distance forces a big save from Edouard Mendy. Who did that come from?
Big Dan.
Dan Martin. Channeling his inner Yuri Tielemans there, fires a rocket.
Like, what a good strike.
Wow. That would have been a candidate for goal of the season for the team there if that had gone in.
I mean, he stands right over it. He puts his head over the ball. He gives it a little side swipe action. And that ball is knuckling. And Mendy has to use all his skills to get that one.
The Jack Grealish of Leicester City over there. Big cross played over, looking for Soyuncu, who does find his header is then blocked. Johnny Evans now controls the ball, plays it back towards Soumare. Soumare turns under big-time pressure from, I think that was Pulisic. But Leicester come forward again. Pass towards Soumare is blocked, and it is out for a Leicester City throw-in.
Look, we're a little energized after that Amarty shot. You can tell the guys are a little buzzing. They're trying to get into space. You know, they're asking for the ball when they get
honestly like it for how terrible we've been. 1 goal can change this game.
Absolutely.
If we score next, game on.
And we have Iheanacho on the field. Here's the man
ball,
that's going to do it.
That was with Nacho at the moment. Nacho plays the ball towards Madison. Madison crosses in, looking for Vardy, up and over the net.
Oh, Jamie Vardy, bro.
He may have been called offside for his leading arm had that gone in anyways, but positive play from Leicester City there.
Jeez. If they would have called him offside for the arm, I don't know.
I don't think that's the case anymore because they don't count the arms for offside anymore. They count the shoulder.
Yeah, it's like the sleeve.
And that would have been very cool because there would have been like some toes to contend with, but, you know, ifs and buts. But what I was mentioning before, so Edmonton is a notoriously cold city in Canada. And it was snowing at the moment. There was, I think, like a couple centimeters of snow on the ground.
Oh, there's like a bank on the side.
In all of their social media posts before the game, they were calling the stadium the Estadio Azteca, which was just very well done.
Was it snowing during the game too?
I think so.
Yeah.
One of the goal celebrations, I think it was Tajon Buchanan, one of the wingers for Canada, just dove back first into a pile of snow.
Yeah. And then, like, the whole team just runs over to the snowbank on the second goal, and they're just like,
Looks like Trevor Chalobah may have taken a knock to the nose there off the knee of Jamie Vardy, but he'll stay on the field. Ball currently on the right wing. A little bit of a tussle between Leicester City and Chelsea there. Both goalkeepers have now been booked. I think Mendy got booked there for time wasting. Ziyech can't control that ball, and that's out for a Leicester City throw.
come on, boys. We need goals.
Gray, apparently we've only lost one in the last 6 in all competitions. So just a lot of draws from Leicester. And 20-1 on Ladbrokes to draw.
20-1.
I mean, Jono, I feel like I feel like you could kind of take the graphic with the Foxes never quit, and you could just put why didn't we play like this first half on it instead. And that's basically our season. Kind of last season as well. We were very much second half FC, but it's just a question of how much we shoot ourselves in the foot in the first half.
Perhaps we had the wrong starting lineup after an international break.
We did set up very defensively, and that's dangerous against a team like Chelsea. That is out for another Leicester City throw-in. Again, just sort of some middling pressure from Chelsea, but nothing that's really going to lead to a goal for either side. Didi tries to find Iheanacho with a high ball, but Silva does very well to not only hold on to that, but then an overhead kick to clear that forward, and now Chelsea look to break. Ball with Pulisic on the right wing. Cannot get past the 2 men marking him, and I think that was Evans hoofs that ball back upfield, but only as far as the Chelsea players. Kante now has the ball.
Come on, get out on the ball.
Collides with Madison, and looks like that may have hurt Madison in the foot, but Madison stays up.
Is about the softest.
Ball now with Ziyech on the wing. Ziyech plays a low cross in that ends up finding Pulisic. Excellent play by Chelsea there. Really no excuse for Pulisic to be missing that.
And no excuse for him to be running so free in the box as well.
No, not at all. It looks like Amarte was his man, but
maybe Amarte has him, but he definitely beats him to the ball. And
it would have been a sad goal to give away if that had gone in, because that looked like a poorly placed pass when it was first played in, and for Pulisic to still be able to get to that is worrisome.
Right. It actually reminded me of the goal that he scored in the Mexico game, where he comes on and then he just like cuts across the defender who looks like he has him, but that ball went in. We need a goal bad, and we need to give the ball to Madison, man. He's asking for the ball. Give him the freaking ball.
Somebody just got thrown over there, man. I think that was Mark Albright, and gets thrown up and over the shoulders trying to win a header there.
Albrighton has to be the next one to come off. Do we have another sub?
We do still have a more. See, I haven't been that unimpressed, but I think Sumare would be a sooner takeoff than Albrighton.
Oh,
because Albrighton's crosses have still been on point. If we can get the ball to him, he's still a valuable asset.
If you take off Sumare, who do you bring in?
That's a very good question. I need to take another look at who's on the bench.
Hamza.
Looking at who's on the bench, maybe Albrighton would be the better player to take off, because you can bring on Perez, put him on the wing.
Right. You have Perez on the bench. We have we have Perez. Come on, let's get him in there.
And I mean, Perez plays well on the right wing there, especially as like a sort of power player when we need some momentum. Sumare does a couple step overs and plays a smart pass towards Vardy, but it gets intercepted in the penalty area.
Put that on goal, bro.
And that's a soft free kick for Chelsea.
And he looks at Ndidi and gives him the what?
How about this from Mateus? Bring on Hamza.
Yeah, bring on Hamza.
Get him out of the pool.
It's a foul.
Yeah. It was soft, but it was a foul.
Brendan is feeling it. He really wants this game.
And there's the stat that we are winning in current fouls, 14 by Leicester City, and I think it was 8 by Chelsea.
There you go.
Chelsea currently just passing the ball around their back three. Can we bring on Lukaku for sympathy? High ball played by Leicester City, but again, that gets intercepted by the back line, and now Chelsea will just pass the ball around the back. Chalobah now has the ball and making a run. Looks to play a through ball for Ziyech, who is apparently onside. He breaks into the penalty area, gets past Soyuncu, plays the ball across, and that will fall for a goal.
Oh, my Lord.
That's 3-0.
Wowzers. What does it sound like in the KP?
Let me check. There's noise, and it's all Chelsea. Basically no sound from the Leicester fans there.
Jeez.
They're singing, "Can we play you every week?"
Oh, wow.
This might get reviewed because I'm not sure that pass to Ziyech is onside.
Yeah, Soyuncu's keeping him on, or not Soyuncu. Johnny Evans is keeping him onside in the middle of the pitch. Who's this? Soyuncu.
This is a rough game to watch. And Casper beating it is near post as well, but honestly, like, you can't really. I feel like we say this too often, but you can't really blame Casper for that. No. Why was Pulisic given that much space, that close to goal with the ball?
Yeah, that's on Soyuncu and Johnny Evans, and that's on all three of them. Amartey, Johnny Evans, Soyuncu.
Kasper Schmeichel visibly upset with how this game is going. There's really no way back into this for Leicester at this point. This is all 3 points are going to Chelsea. It's just a question of what the margin is going to be. And immediately Chelsea are back on the threat. Pulisic has the ball. He's marked offside following a deflection.
And the ball's in the back of the net.
Yeah, that was. CK saying that their prediction for a 4-0. It's on the cards. It's on the cards.
I still think Iheanacho is going to score. They're just showing a replay there. I'm not sure if that was to show us that Pulisic was offside or that there might be an appeal for a handball against Amartey. Right. They're asking for a handball, but it's clearly on the top of his shoulder.
Yeah, that would be ridiculous if given.
This is ridiculous. 3-0.
Yeah, honestly, Mateus, like saying this is torture. This is a very rough game to watch. There's not a lot of positives to take from it. There's not a lot to fill the airtime with. It's
Nothing.
Mark Albrighton had the ball. He can't play his pass across, and it bounces off the Chelsea defender for a Leicester City throw-in.
So where did this match go wrong? Did it go wrong with the starting lineup? Should we have played Maddison from the get-go?
Yeah, I think we did set up too defensively, but honestly, I think it's also just we've been outclassed.
Like, we don't have Yuri.
The board in every position.
How do we play the game? We don't have Yuri Tillemans. How do we play it without Maddison in the game then? That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, what? What was Brendan thinking?
When Jamie comes on, a warning to everybody: don't wear your headphones. Yes, especially like if you're at midday, if no one's sleeping in your place anymore, put your speakers on just for your own sake when it's Jamie's turn to come on and give his thoughts.
Oh man.
They are showing the possession stats. We have at least kept 48% possession. Kieran Dewsbury Hall, the final substitution that's going to be coming on. Surely that's going to be for Albrighton.
Sumare.
Maybe Sumare, but it's probably going to be no, it is for Sumare.
Mm-hmm.
So Mark Albrighton going to be playing all 90 minutes here. And yeah, I would agree with this, that I think it did go wrong with the formation as well. I thought it was going to be more positive because we were playing that 3 up front, but we set up way too defensively and gave way too much respect in possession to a team that can punish you when you do that. And that is exactly what's happened.
We've literally beat these guys the last, 2 or 3 times we played them, right? Drew. We've gotten points out of them the last A couple of times we've seen them, including a trophy.
But this time around, we've just been embarrassed.
And with virtually the same players.
Dewsbury Hall misplaces his pass, and that goes out. But apparently the ball did go off of Chalobah before going out of play, and that is a throw into Leicester City.
Pulisic was on the pitch, a total of 4 minutes before he scored, just like I predicted. Jeez, man.
Yeah, and they'll be making another substitution. Number 12 to come on. Let me check who that is.
I freaking work with a Chelsea supporter. I'm going to have to hear this crap now.
Ruben Loftus-Cheek is going to be coming on. Yeah, I have a lot of United supporters at my work. No one I know of who supports Chelsea, but I'll definitely be hearing about this on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gray was saying Chelsea have gotten better while we've gotten worse since those games, though.
It's virtually the same team, virtually the same players.
If there is one thing we can discuss, though, there is only one Mikey Bizzle. Thank you for the £1.79 super chat, Lee. We greatly appreciate it. Helps us cover the cost of things like StreamYard. We all do this on a volunteer basis, so that money just goes back into the channel for operating costs.
Yes. And when you're thinking about volunteer basis, remember it's 4:30 in the morning when
I was about to say as well, like, do take it easy on us. We woke up at 4 and 6 in the morning for this, and we're not getting paid.
No goals.
A warning to all of you with children who might be listening: when Jono comes on, we're going to declare an early watershed.
Yeah.
After match for this. Jorginho has come off, and he's taken a long walk around the pitch to the Chelsea supporters.
Oh my goodness! How lucky to be at the
none of us are saying that Jamie wouldn't have a right to complain about this. It's just, honestly, I feel bad for him because I know that he came all the way from Alcudia and he's just seething watching this because there's been, like I said, we've just been outclassed across the pitch.
I have a couple friends that are in my group chat, my Leicester group. We call ourselves the Blue Crew. It's a bunch of expatriates and Leicester fans. Not a bunch. It's like 12 of us. But 2 of them are at the match. They flew there yesterday. And, yeah.
Oh, and that's a long flight. That's a long flight. Because I always jest about like people who complain about the amount of time it takes to go to an away day, like, you know, the fans that traveled to Brighton and then had to watch that Brighton match,
right,
because they had to travel for like 2-ish hours. But, you know, for us that support MLS teams, like how close is the nearest away day for you? Like that would probably be Vancouver, wouldn't it?
Portland, Vancouver, both of them are about 2.5 hours away.
Yeah, for me as a Toronto fan, our nearest away day would be Montreal, which is an 1.5-hour flight, 6.5 hours by train.
Yikes! Yeah,
I love this city. It's very isolated geographically. The nearest major cities are all very far away.
I was gonna say you're gonna have to fly for that one.
There really isn't an away day that you. I've taken the train to Montreal for a few games. I saw Montreal play Toronto once, and I saw Canada play the Netherlands in the Women's World Cup. And it's a long train ride.
Is the train full of soccer fans?
Sorry?
The train full of soccer fans on the way to Montreal?
I wish it was a train full of business people. But you know what? Like the atmosphere is really nice in Montreal for MLS games. Like because their stadium is out in the eastern side of Montreal, and you have to take the metro out to get there, the subway.
Aren't they one of the first MLS teams? One of the original MLS teams?
No, they like Vancouver, like they used to be I almost said Montreal. Chelsea coming forward and crosses the edge, is caught by Schmeichel before it falls to him. And yeah, people are saying like a few more games like that. I apologize for like letting the comments go by, but like we were saying, like it's all pretty. We're all pretty much in agreement. Like this is an embarrassing game. It's just been what's Brendan going to say about this performance? It's just been a hard match to watch like that. And there's not too much going on the field at the moment. It's just Chelsea will pass it through us, make a cross. Their last ball won't quite get there. Then Leicester will try to go forward. Our pass will get intercepted around midfield. That's why we're talking about the MLS, really.
Yeah, we're trash right now. Mateus, I got this yesterday. 5 days from the UK all the way to Seattle. I got my pink scarf to match my pink kit.
It's 4-0.
Wow.
Christian Pulisic double. Oh, it's offside. It's
Offside.
offside.
Woo.
Just seeing the replay on that. Yeah, he's offside.
Good.
And the thing is, like, that build-up play was even pedestrian. Like, normally I'll get loud when there's something exciting brewing for either team, but that was just it was a through ball that I didn't think they were going to get, and they made it look so easy that they made it look pedestrian.
Yeah, it was too easy.
Fans are leaving.
Yikes.
Even the broadcasters can't be bothered to talk about it anymore. They're showing the lineups for Watford Man United right now.
Oh, we're talking about the MLS. Like, what's going on?
Yeah. But like in Toronto, like our stadium is like in the heart, not in the heart of downtown, but it's easy to get to from downtown. You don't really have to travel to get to the stadium. In Montreal, it's in the East End, and you have to take the subway out there. And if you get on the train at the right time when it's full of fans and it's just rocking, it's lovely.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. We have a really big soccer culture here in Seattle as well. And the Emerald City supporters, they all meet up at a bar in Seattle, and then they like do like a parade to the stadium at every home game. It's kind of funny.
James Madison takes a shot from distance. It takes a deflection. Good reflexes from Edward Mendy, keeps it out of the net.
Madison, he's going to get on the score sheet. He's going to get on the stat sheet one way or another. He's the one that's putting all the balls on target at this point.
Just for the record, Liam, we call it soccer just when we're referring to like the MLS and the like. We call it football when we are talking about England. We're mindful of our language.
Soccer is just short for association football. It's
cross played in by Dewsbury Hall, does not beat the man at the near post, and that is another corner for Leicester. Yeah, there's people saying that like this could be the players trying to get Rodgers out. I don't think that Rodgers has lost the dressing room.
No, absolutely not. They all get playing time. He rotates them all. They all,
that was a terrible corner kick by
Dewsbury.
Terrible corner kick by Dewsbury Hall. It just goes up and over everyone and out. As now the broadcasters are talking about Newcastle Brentford. Yeah,
we have Martin Tyler. Who do you have?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, we have Martin Tyler.
They're not speaking at the moment, so I couldn't tell you. But I know it's not Martin Tyler because it doesn't sound like him. I think I'm not sure who your broadcaster does, but I think the Canadian broadcaster just gets like a rebroadcast of BT Sports coverage.
Okay, yeah. No, we're on NBCSN, but I think they get a thing of Sky Sports coverage at NBC. I think. I don't know. I think so, because we'll have like Sky Sports News, like in the morning time. I can watch Sky Sports News on NBCSN, which is kind of cool.
Just to quickly answer Gail's question, we're in the 83rd minute, halfway through it, so there will be 6.5 minutes to go.
And we are down.
Another high cross comes over. Ball lands at the feet of Chilwell. Chilwell turns, makes a pass towards, I think that's Reece James. James to Ziyech. Ziyech back to James. 4-0.
Oh, my goodness. Soyuncu.
Offside again.
Was he offside? That looked
I don't know where this would have been offside.
Yeah, that looked
it was the pass to the wing. He's fully offside.
Okay.
Oh, and it was Chile. Chile was fully offside.
Okay. Dang, that was like 30 seconds ago. Okay, we got to do something about the rule here, because literally that was like 15 seconds before the ball goes in the back of the net.
Yeah, that could have been called off earlier. And he was also well offside. Yeah, Anthony, I don't know, because the players don't seem to be improving at stuff. I don't know what we're doing in training.
Well, they're game planning. They're not really training. They're game planning for the next game.
Chalobah comes forward, passes the ball over towards Pulisic. Yeah, John, I think we agree. Like, I thought Arsenal was bad. This is the worst game of the season for us. Easily. Yeah, Chelsea could have scored 7. If they really wanted to and they timed their runs better, yeah, they could have scored 7. Ziyech with the ball. He'll find just misses the net. Callum Hudson-Odoi nearly puts it in for 4.
Does Casper have any saves? Not like the ball was kicked right down the middle in his chest. Does he have any saves?
Yes.
He lets so much soft stuff go in.
I think he denied Mount with his elbow at one point.
Oh, that's
that
right.
also would have been offside had it gone in.
I'm just like, Casper just be letting the softest stuff go in sometimes, man.
Yeah, this is.
I love Martin.
There hasn't been a lot of fight from the Leicester City players, especially here later in the game. After they made it 3-0, like it's really just been over. And yeah, 3 disallowed goals for Chelsea, 1 disallowed goal for Leicester. They're showing the fans in the stands, and this is.
I know that guy Sean on the right with the Europa League, Sean Scotchbrook. He's in the chat sometimes.
Leicester City coming forward now. Ball with Dewsbury Hall. Iheanacho made a run, but he went too early. Castagna now has it. Madison with the ball. It's deep in the half, though. He has it back and forth with Dewsbury Hall. Madison crosses in right into the arms of Mendy.
Oof.
Yeah, at full time, 3-0 doesn't gloss over the fact that it could and should have been 7-8-0.
How do you practice defending corners? You either
with the heat that he's been under, I'll be honest, I feel like there will be questions asked of Rodgers by the board.
I don't think so. We are Leicester.
Rodgers must have some sort of serious long-term plan for the board to be putting up with this, though. And I'm saying that as a Brendan Rodgers supporter.
We're in European football, though. Like, that's all the board wants. You know, they just need the revenue to recoup from COVID, you know. Brendan Rodgers is under contract. The board, they don't just pay money for a manager we're not going to have, you know. They're just not going to do that. Susan, what's her name? Susan Whelan. Is she like the general manager?
I'm not
John
sure. Rudkin, I believe, is part of the recruitment team.
Players, yeah, but like
scouting and youth development, I think is Rudkin.
But like the money, like the money at the manages the money, you know, Susan. They're so frugal. They're not gonna like let this guy go and have to pay out his contract and him not be managing the club. He's doing a really good job. We're just losing right now.
Yeah,
it sucks.
It's easy to say that sacking the manager will make things change, but at the same time, like, did Nuno fix the deep lying problems at Tottenham?
Yeah, nope, he was gone before he could start. Really,
Bruno Lage at Wolves. Offside for Leicester City on Iheanacho. Thank you, Imtiaz. Rudkin is the director of football, and Susan Whelan is the CEO.
Right, she does the money. Imtiaz, what's up, bro? How you doing, man?
Good to see you tuning in. I'm sorry you had to watch this.
That's my guy, Imtiaz.
Pulisic with the ball in the middle of the park. Chelsea are just game managing at this point, passing around the back.
Well, my 4 a.m. breakfast today, guys, was a Korean bulgogi and rice, a little fried egg.
That looks real good.
Yeah.
I've got a bagel that has been sitting beside me all match. The moment I go off screen, I'm going to be eating that bagel.
For sure.
Chelsea coming forward again. Reece James finds Hudson-Odoi, finds James again. James can't find Hudson-Odoi again, intercepted by Castagna. Leicester City regain possession and clear the ball, at least as far as the edge of the penalty area. Dewsbury Hall with the ball now. Castagna trying to make a run. Poor pass from Dewsbury Hall gets intercepted, and Chelsea come forward again with Conte. Conte gets around Dewsbury Hall, breaks onto the right wing. Passes back, overcooks his pass to Hudson-Odoi. They're forced to turn their backs to goal. Hudson-Odoi back and forth with Ziyech. And then goes all the way back to Chalobah. No kegs, Michael?
No, I drank a lot last night.
I was also going to say 4 a.m. might be a little bit too early to
Yeah.
get started on that.
No, it is too early. I passed out probably about midnight, half drunk. My alarm went off at 4, and I was like, no.
MTS Phil is at the game. So I think they'll try to tune in, like Phil, Jamie, and the crew, but the reception around the KP is notoriously bad, so I don't know that they'll be able to chime in, at least until a fair bit after the match. Tune into Jamie's Aftermath show, because that's going to be a sight to see.
Oh, the Aftermath. 3 minutes added time. We're in the 91st minute.
Yep. Just showing Thiago Silva yelling some orders.
Yeah, because he wants to still win really bad.
CK's asking, so if we'd have lost 8 or 9-0, which we easily could have, would you think that Brendan Rodgers is still untouchable, that the board wouldn't even blink an eye at it?
Well, if we lost 8 or 9-0, then yeah, but we didn't lose 8 or 9-0. Like,
the other thing that I would say on that is that, like, things are still worrisome here at Leicester. Like, the form is bad, very bad. But one match does not get a manager sacked. Like, Ralph Hasenhüttl didn't get sacked, and he's lost 9-0 twice.
Yeah. Lost 9-0 twice. Jesus.
I'm winning on ultimate difficult career mode. Man, career mode, I got a bone to pick with EA, because when I get FIFA, I rename all of the generic stadiums to what they're actually called. And then I started a career mode, deleted all of the renamed stadiums. That took me days.
Ay.
The KP is now probably about half full.
Wow, look at all the empty seats.
This is sad. Leicester breaking forward. So Yunchu passes to Castagna. Poor pass from Castagna. Can't find Iheanacho, and Chelsea break forward again.
Has
Hudson-Odoi
all in the last 20 minutes? Jeez. Brendan got to figure it out, man. Brendan got to figure this out, because we're not moving the ball. We're not in the spaces we need to be. We're not making the runs we need to. It's like the guys don't know what to do, or they're trying to do the old stuff, and it's.
Well, that I was going to say, like, I don't think that Brendan is going to be sacked after this match.
No.
But surely there are going to be meetings with the board, because that's full time. Match is over. Leicester City 0, Chelsea 3.
I have to hear this stuff on Monday.
I'll tell you what, though. I've turned my volume all the way up, and there aren't boos.
Oh,
a lot of sound from the Chelsea fans. People want Ben Chilwell's shirt.
Okay.
But
this is worthy of a boo. When the whistle blows, if everybody goes boo, then fine. That's different than booing a player walking on or coming off.
Yes. But yeah, shocking. I don't really think there's any other way we can put it. That is the earliest game Michael and I have gotten up for, and I guarantee you that is the worst game Michael and I have gotten up for.
Absolutely. This sucked bad. And being all hungover from last night made it even worse.
I feel like that's ruined both our Saturdays. Like, we got to go and have a day after this now as well.
No, I literally have to go to work at 9 o'clock, so I'm going to get back in my bed.
Yeah, and, I was actually going to say, like, I don't know if you want to stay on for a little bit longer. If not, like, I will definitely let you go so you can rest up.
No, yeah, look, guys, thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching, but this was absolute crap today, and I don't even know who the next opponent is, but let's hurry up and get to play them.
I think it's Legia next, and then Watford in the league.
Warsaw. Didn't we lose to them 1-0?
Yes, we did.
Oh my goodness. Okay. What day is that on? Wednesday, Thursday?
It'll be a Thursday because it's Europa League, I'm pretty sure.
Thursday did not come fast enough. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this Thursday. Ross, are you good to be added on? How are you feeling?
I don't know. I mean, that was. You can tell basically two things happened in that game. Chelsea were magnificent. We were just awful because usually they always say we made them look good. That's not the case today. They have 3 goals. Let's not forget 3 goals disallowed. They had that would have been 6-0 had all them goals have stood.
Not only that, but they also missed some clear-cut chances as well.
They did. Chilwell hit the ball.
People were saying this could have been 8-9-0. They're not exaggerating.
Could have. I know it could have been. And, I said at the beginning, N'Golo Conte is going to be a threat. And what happened? He scored an absolute peach. I'm just looking at the highlights now. I'm just watching it now. So the first goal, set piece. What did I say? Set piece again. This zonal marking is about as much use as me doing the washing up. It's awful. It's shocking. And it's honestly, here's the second goal. So N'Golo Conte.
You have to stop the ball.
Conte is going in the middle. No one's going towards him. And then suddenly, go towards him. Just as Evans is going towards him, Conte is hitting the back of the net.
Well, Evans has to track his runner, but geez,
I would blame Soumare for the Conte goal more than anything else.
He needs to be hustling back. Yeah, he needs to hustle back. And wow, what a strike by Conte on his left.
Now I'm looking at the third goal now. So I'm just looking. Look at this now. There's 2.
USA.
Oh, what was Johnny Evans doing? Pulisic, good, well taken goal, but that's awful. So I'm watching the replay now. So Rudiger's got it. I mean, he's a good ball. He was onside. Is this the goal for offside? Hang on. Oh, it's onside. So Ziyech had it. Cuts inside. Evans doesn't even see Pulisic running behind him.
You got to feel him. You got to know him. You got to feel him. But that's what Pulisic does.
Like I said, Chelsea are top of the table for a reason. They were magnificent, and I think they will go on and win the league. I mean, let's not forget they had no Lukaku. And who else didn't they have? Azpilicueta, is it?
He was on the bench all game.
There you go. Well, they still have. I mean, this Ross to do the washing up. Someone's put a super chat.
A super chat to tell you to do the washing up. Thank you once more, Lee. We, like I said, we all do this on a volunteer basis. So thank you so much for that.
Here's the thing. Without Tielemans, we fell apart today in that midfield. People talk about Youri Tielemans and stuff. That just summed up. Tielemans is the main factor in that team. I'm not saying we're going to win with Tielemans in the squad. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that it makes a massive difference to a side. And we were poor. We were absolutely shocking. I can't think of any positive unless someone comes on or comments. Is there actually any ask everyone then? Just yes or no. Anyone take any positives from today?
No.
I feel like maybe Dan Amarte took a wonderful shot, and that'd be it.
Yeah, Dan Amarte did. He showed a little bit, put his head over the ball, got a little side swipe action, got a shot on target when we hadn't had one in a while. But this game was trash from the start.
Jack Cosgrove, did we win?
All right.
I'm gonna take off, guys. Man, thanks a lot, Leicester.
I will say, Michael. I'll drop you so you can rest up. Don't stop watching though, because I'm about to add Jono back in.
Oh yeah, I'll keep it on YouTube for sure.
All right, I'll let you go, Michael. But thanks so much for the watch along.
All right,
Jono, you good to be added on?
So yeah, everyone's saying no. I mean, I'll ask you the exact same question, Jono. Yes or no? Can you see any positives coming from that game today?
I thought a great game. I thought it played brilliantly. I thought it was excellent. I thought Brendan's tactics was spot on. I thought
when you woke up.
What?
When you woke up.
I fucking woke up. That was the worst fucking game I've ever seen.
Yes. Also, sorry. I will also give a warning. I can't hold folks back right now. So
why?
Watch your watershed.
Why are we playing 5 at the back when all season we can't defend? Why? We've let in silly goals all season. We set up for 5 at the back to counter attack. Why are we doing that? Why? We we don't have our most creative player on the pitch, Maddison. So how on earth can we play counter-attacking football when we haven't got our most creative player on? And then we're playing further back counter-attacking football. I don't know.
And the sad thing is, like, because again, I know that I like Brendan Rodgers. This is going to be what he's going to end up saying again. We lack the passion and the focus and the commitment at the beginning.
He can't be very prude of his players today. He can't be very prude at all.
No. Excellent job of the prude, though. You got that pronunciation on point.
Like I said, we were bad, but Chelsea were outstanding. We can't take that away from them. Their best player. I mean, I think Conte were their best player today. I mean, I know I'm not going to mention another player's name. He had a great game. I hate to admit that. He probably only did it because he was playing against us. But if it had not been for them VAR goals, it would have been 6, and they were all correct decisions, by the way.
Our goal and all theirs that were disallowed.
Yeah, 100% ours. It was definitely offside. People, 100%. We moan about VAR and stuff, all this and that, but it worked. And end of the day, unfortunately, obviously, it went against us today. Obviously, and if that had got in, if that had stood, maybe something may have happened. I'm not saying we're going to win the game, but we were expecting I wasn't expecting a comfortable win or anything today, but I was expecting at least a performance, and that was all. That was a terrible performance. And just before you come in, Jono, I was just saying it just proves that Tielemans is a massive key factor in that midfield.
We're not going to keep Tielemans.
No, that's exactly. And what I said on Jamie's show last night, well, in the comments, if all this talk, all this stuff about Brendan Rodgers going to other clubs and stuff, I think if he did go to Manchester United, it's disrespectful that they're even talking about that in the first place because all is still there. It's not it's not for any manager when they're on about this. But if that happened, he'll take Tielemans with him.
I did just want to quickly say thanks to Helena for sending in the £1.79 super sticker. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. But yeah, that is something that I worry about because managers take players with them when they leave, and you could see Tielemans going with Brendan.
I honestly, if Tielemans is still at Leicester by January, it's a miracle because, like I said, we were great obviously when he won us the cup and stuff, and obviously there was all this speculation and everything. And at the minute, what you're watching in the stands today, I bet he's thinking to himself or his agent, "Get me out of here." Get me out of here because in the day we weren't expecting to win massively today, but at least a better performance. If we'd have lost 3-0 and we had a better we were getting tackles, but they just scored goals. Okay, we would have lost, but it would have been at least we're very proud of the players. But we were terrible. We were absolutely shocking, and I can't Wednesday against Thursday against Warsaw.
I guarantee Chilwell in the dressing room now is laughing his head off, and so.
Oh, he's going to be buzzing.
100%. In the day, 3 players have come. 2 players that used to play for Leicester have put in. Arguably, Leicester can't deny it. Chilwell had a great game. We hate to admit that, but he did. Conte had a great game, and besides, he scored a beauty with his weak foot. And then obviously Rudiger and all that issue with Amati, he got on to score again today. He has a habit of scoring against Leicester. This is a weird fact. Did you know Rudiger scored 4 goals against Leicester within the space of 4 games?
We were mentioning that earlier, that it was showing Antonio Rudiger's goals against Premier League teams, and it showed like Man City and Southampton and a few other teams that was 1 goal each, and then Leicester City 4, which just goes to show. I can almost promise you that all 4 of those were corners.
When you said about the Rudiger goals, before he scored today, was it 4 or was it 3?
Before he scored, this was after he scored, so it would have been 4. I'm also just going to say, Ross, you might just want to not hold your bank card in front of the camera.
Oh, yes.
We didn't get your whole number there, but just to be safe.
Good luck, because there's no money in it. But no, on a serious note, though, that was poor. And I think the zonal marking is, I don't understand it. Can someone tell me what is good about zonal marking? Man mark is the main in football. When you're a defender, when you play for a team like a Sunday League team, or you play for your friend's team or whatever. If you're a defender, the first thing they say is man mark when it's a set piece. We cannot defend from set pieces. It's awful. I remember every year there's something bad about Leicester. Like 1 year we couldn't win away from home. It took us like nearly 7 months to win. Last year we just couldn't get across the finish line, meaning beating clubs like Fulham and Newcastle, but then beating Chelsea last season, Chelsea and Manchester United. But this year it's set pieces. We cannot defend from a set piece. As soon as it's a corner or a free kick, it's probably going to be a goal or nearly a goal.
I think
we cannot defend from them.
I think we can see 1 in every 4 or 5 corners or free kicks.
Yeah.
Like that should be like 1 in 20 we can see, not 1 in like 5. Every team now that just go, oh, we'll hoof it up or just shoot because they have more chance of scoring a corner or a free kick rather than a long shot.
Casey's just put it in. I was literally just about to say that. I mean, someone can find it.
Maybe Watford. I don't see us beating Leg yet.
No. Do you know what? The way we're playing at the minute, I wish I didn't get my Southampton ticket. So obviously I'm going to Southampton in a few weeks. And now I'm starting to regret it. But any day you support the boys, no matter what. I love to get Jamie's reaction. Obviously he's actually been to the game today, Jamie from Fox's Arms. If he's watching, if he can click on. I mean, I'm going to shoot off in a second anyway, but it's... I mean, I'm just looking. Obviously, I've still got the stream on that watching, and Aston Villa, their next few games. Steven Gerrard, isn't it? We play Villa. Let's look at what are our next games, league games wise, anyway.
Watford, Southampton,
league games.
League
games.
Oh, Watford, Southampton, Villa.
Yeah,
Watford, Southampton,
Villa, and then Newcastle, Tottenham.
Right. So the next 5 games, right? So let's be honest. So I don't know if you can type it on your thing. How many points can we realistically get from that? So what we've got? Watford at home, is it? Watford at home? Away?
Watford at home, Southampton away, Villa at home.
Villa at home. And then we've got Newcastle and then Tottenham, yeah?
Newcastle at home, Tottenham at home.
Yeah, a lot of home games coming up. Home get. I worry on home form. So how many points can you realistically see us getting from that? On realistically right now?
7.
Because at the minute, I agree at the minute. Oh, going to turn my phone off then. The way we're playing, I can't see us getting any points. Maybe it's against Tottenham because we'll be up for that for some reason.
I would think like at best we might get 7. I think we could beat Watford and Newcastle and maybe draw with Southampton.
But the issue is, you look at Watford though. They've faced teams like Liverpool and Arsenal,
and they played really well. They played really well.
The Watford, the Liverpool game, they know what they can do, and it's the first game they got absolutely destroyed. But it's Liverpool. Then they beat, was it Everton 5-2 or something like that? And then they lost to Arsenal, which I thought they got robbed, and then they lost. So end of the day, Ranieri will want to get a win against his old club. Whether we think he's a legend or not, because he is, he's not going to think about that on that day. On that day, he'll be thinking, I want my team Watford to beat Leicester. There's nothing else about it. It's all you talk about all this Brendan out stuff. Like, his job will be questioned these next 5 games because let's be honest, there's no big club in there, is there? Not at all. Watford, not a big club. Southampton, not a big club. Villa have just got a new manager, so they'll want to be up for it a little bit. Newcastle, new manager Eddie Howe. I think that may be his first. He's off with COVID at the minute, so it could be one of his first games. And then obviously,
it'll probably be his second game.
Tottenham also not a big club, so you've got to think these next 5 games are very crucial. And before Christmas, if we don't pick up any good results, Brendan Rodgers will have questions to answer.
Yes, questions to now.
We were saying that he has questions to answer.
I get that. But obviously, you can't just say a manager just because we've lost 3. It was very poor performance. But if we ask for a manager out every single game, Jesus Christ, we'd be like bloody Watford with all their managers. I agree. Sorry, that last comment just then. I agree. Football fans are fickle. We are. It is football. Anywhere's fickle. As me as a big pro wrestling fan, their fans are fickle. Football fans are fickle. They just are. 1 week we want him in, 1 minute we want him out. It's the way of football life. But I'm not saying I'm not on the Rodgers out brigade. Not at all.
Nor am I.
I'll make that very clear to any fan that's watching. I am not on the Brendan Rodgers out brigade. We just want the tweaks changing, no zonal marking, and defend better from set pieces. Wasn't Brendan Rodgers a defender when he was playing football?
Oh, that's a good trivia question. I have no idea. I will look that up.
But the problem is now, like I said, next 5 games, I can't see us getting a result at the minute. Yeah.
So
it's the Champions League. It's the effect of not getting Champions League again. But judging by that, we'd be laughed at if we were playing performances like that today. Like I said, credit to Chelsea, they deserved the win, but we were even worse than I thought we were going to be. So if you're going to ask for a man at match, probably final whistle.
Yuri Tielemans.
Oh, yeah, true.
For Marte, for that amazing shot, I might have to give it, for that amazing wonder shot, I have to give it to Marte.
And what was Schmeichel? Can we talk about Schmeichel's? Oh, my God. He nearly cost us a goal. Oh, yeah, thank God. He nearly cost us a goal. It nearly cost us a goal. It was... you know what I mean? I'm never speechless and stuff, but today is just annoying.
Yeah, I completely agree.
If I had to pick a man of the match in general,
as well.
If I had to pick a man of the match in general, I probably would pick N'Golo Conte. If you had to pick one that in general, I would pick N'Golo Conte, without a doubt.
I agree with Tim Hill. I think we need to properly change things up. I want Danny Ward to start a few games. I want Danny Ward. He was excellent in the Euros. I want him to stop coming on and showing how good of a keeper he is. Maybe it's time for these changes. Maybe it's time for Vardy and Schmeichel to start giving way to other players. Maybe we've been doing the same thing for so long now with Schmeichel and Vardy and all this sort of stuff. Maybe it's time to bring in new faces.
No.
Make someone else a captain. Make someone else in the actual in the ahead of him, in front of him, a captain. Give a defender a captain. Give Tielemans the captain. You know what I mean?
How long's Tielemans out for?
Not long, I don't think. Let me check.
Can someone give him a vaccine so he can come straight back into the team? I tell you, because we were poor. Tielemans, do you know what? Jono will know this. Tielemans is the Muzzy Izzet of this era. Meaning, not like skill. What I mean by that is, he's so important and vital to that team. When he's in the side, we play better, or some games play magnificent. When he's not in the side, we are average, or even worse. I was watching a season review of Leicester earlier, 2000-2001 season. We lost to Wickham. Muzzy Izzet got injured. Next 8 games, we lost all 8. What does that tell you? What important is vital. Tielemans is basically Muzzy Izzet of this era. How important he is.
Hearing you mention Muzzy Izzet like that makes perfect sense to me, because to me that the word I would use to describe him is talismanic. Like that is a player that, not even necessarily due to his talent, is missed on the field.
It's like Kane it's like Spurs without Kane. It's that sort of. Is that sort of?
Well, I would say Kane without. I'd say Tottenham without Son at minute. I would say, but yeah. Go on.
It's like that player who's at a club who's that sort of like, he just brings. It's like Ronaldo at Manchester United. He may not play great, but it's just his being there gives other players confidence. It's like Evans being in defence. He gives other defenders that confidence.
Mark Noble
in that team. It's just we're rubbish.
Mark Noble, exactly. I think, would be like the closest equivalent I could say.
Exactly,
because he is by no means the best player on that team, but if Mark Noble isn't in the squad, it's noticed.
It's like Fergie without Man U without Fergie.
Well, that was one thing that I did see. It was a much earlier comment. I'm not sure that I'd be able to dig it back up, but it said, imagine if you were a Leicester player that played in that first half and Sir Alex Ferguson was manager.
Well, put it this way, they'd all be red in the face because they would have had a rocket up their arse. Or the hairdryer treatment.
They would have been crying because he would have shouted them for 15 minutes.
This is what I think. Managers these days don't have the bottle. I mean, some of them to have a really go. It's like, I can't stand this guy. but he has a lot of passion for what he does, and that's Neil Warnock. I can't stand the guy, but have you ever seen clips online where
He's like walking towards the camera.
He's going at it. No, he's going at it in the dressing room. I think he was at Sheffield United. He's going at it like proper full on swearing a lot, going at it. Brian Clough. I mean, I don't know. I never saw Brian Clough, but a lot of people saying that, you know, have a bottle to have a go at your players, not tippy tappy around them. I think obviously we don't know what goes on in that dressing room. Oh no. Someone's just
I was about to say, there's a comment with some choice words that I'm not going to put up, but apparently it sounds like Brendan Rodgers is giving the exact same interview that he normally gives post-match.
Well, I'm going to watch that in a minute. I'm going to head off now anyway, but yeah, describe it in one word.
Awful. Embarrassing.
Oh, you've got me with awful.
I'm just going to say shocking. It was abysmal.
I'm going to say terrible.
So, you know it's bad when you can't take a single positive, like constructive positive, that in terms of the play from a game. That's when I think this is now the lowest point we've had since
Rodgers became manager.
Yeah, this is the lowest we've been.
We've had bad runs, but we've made up for it in like good performances. But this is a bit different. You know, when we beat Man U and Brentford, right? We were brilliant. You know, we thought, oh my God, we're back. We beat Brighton in the playoffs, in the League Cup, and then the Arsenal game, they were magnificent. And then it was the game that I think has turned it a bit. I think is the what's it called game? Spartak Moscow.
We haven't been this poor in terms of performance. Like we've been poor all season, but we've played some good phases of play we've had. This is the worst we've been since Claude Puel against.
Well, I was just about to say that before. I'm gonna answer this question. I'm gonna give you this question, and I'm gonna leave. I want to see what people put. If Puel was still in charge, would we be saying? Sorry, if Brendan Rodgers, if Puel was still in charge, would we be saying Puel out every time we lose a game and this bad? Is it because Brendan Rodgers won a trophy that we're not saying Brendan Rodgers out as much?
But he's got us into Europe for 2 years in a row.
That's what I was going to say. It's not just the trophy, but it's the consistency.
But now, obviously, we're playing really poor at the moment. It's like it's not even like we'll play poor and then we win the week after. I mean, Leeds were pretty poor. We were lucky to even get a point. Spartak Moscow, I mean, how we didn't win that game, but we were just poor. Arsenal, obviously, they were good. You know, then Ramsey.
Another team, the situation last season, Arsenal were in 15th in this same position. They were actually worse than us. They were 15th by Christmas, and they were all saying, "Get Mikel Arteta out now. He's awful. He's awful." They kept him. Arsenal are slowly now becoming like a really consistent team who are starting to rise up the ranks. Do we need to give Brendan more time? Not in terms of his staying at the club, but finding what's happened this season that's been different to the last 2 seasons.
Well, let's just hope the bad form that we've had is over, because let's not forget the last 2 seasons we've always had bad form towards the end of the season. So the only thing I can take from this is that hopefully this is the end of our bad form, or if we were going to, at least after Christmas we just suddenly win every game or draw. So then we get suddenly shook up there.
So, oh no! Don't.
Did you just see the newest comment?
Oh no!
I'm not putting that on screen.
Let me read it. Hang on one second.
Oh, you put it up for me then.
I'm putting it. You'll be in League One before we go back down in Championship.
Well, Derby will, to be fair, because Derby will, and so but
we won the FA Cup last season. That's all.
If I remember correctly, last time Nottingham Forest were in the Premier League, I was Elijah wasn't born. I will do Elijah.
I'm 24.
19. Oh, sorry, you were 2. You were 1 or 2, something like that. The 1998, 1999, something like that. Last time Nottingham Forest were in the Premier League, I was fat. The best thing I ever did was draw. What made my day was playing Conkers. That's the last time Nottingham Forest were in the Premier League. So Yeah, you just keep to your championship antiques while we're in the Premier League. Actually,
we are going through a massive rough patch, but we will come out of it. It's just when we come out of it with a new manager, we'll come out of it with different players, we'll come out of a different formation, we'll come out of it. We won't be in the championship. We're at the stage where now we've got too much of a good squad in the modern games. But when do you think we'll come out of it? Would it be next season? Will we be rubbish all season and manage to stay up, or do you think we'll get a new manager and we'll go?
I think December. Someone put it earlier. I don't know who put it. December is going to be the most important month in Leicester City's season because you look at the games we've got: Southampton, Villa. I'm not including any league games or League Cup games. We've got Southampton, Villa, Newcastle, Tottenham, Manchester City, Liverpool. They are the next 6 games. They're the 6 games in December. Massive, massive games. All of them are like cup finals. How 8 is going to be very important. So, right, I'm going to head off. I said that about 20 minutes ago, but I'm heading off now. Well, take care, and let's try and enjoy a weekend as much as we can. So yeah,
a lot of weekend to get through.
Yeah, get yourself a drink, Elijah. Oh, so well, saying that, it's like 9 o'clock in the morning for you, isn't it?
Just before 10. Just before 10. And then for Michael, it's just before 7.
Never too early in it, so
it's 12 p.m. somewhere.
But then I also saw, like, I think Nick was sending in comments for. I know he's in Australia, so that'd be like just before.
I'll be to bed. Maybe off to bed now.
It's late evening there.
Or night out in Sydney. Or well, I presume he's there. I don't know. I'm just going to presume. I guess. So, right. Peace out, everyone. Anyway.
Thanks, Ross.
See you later.
See ya.
Do you think people are saying
sorry, go ahead.
Sacked? Do you think he'll get sacked out? Do you think by tomorrow morning or by tonight we'll hear headlines? Brendan Rodgers sacked from Leicester. No.
I don't think that he's going to. I don't think he's going to get it. Like, there's a few things that, like, I'm going to just put on the table now, like around like rumors or like even banter things that are said. Rodgers is not going to get sacked today. Leicester City are not getting relegated this season. It is a poor run of form, and we will likely finish this season in lower mid-table. Brendan might leave at the end of the season as a result, but I see, unless like a major offer comes in that would basically pay the club all of the remainder of Brendan's contract plus more, the club isn't going to let him go before the end of the season. I don't see him getting a mid-season sack, even if this run of form continues.
Thing is, against Chelsea, you got to think they're currently third. There's no excuses. It doesn't excuse the fact that we played absolutely shocking. But you know, Chelsea are top of the table. They're flying. They've got an excellent manager. The real test comes for me now in the next 4 games. If we don't do well in these 4 games, or show any sign to me that we've improved, I will start be thinking it's time to move on from Brendan. Personally, I don't think that yet because Chelsea are an excellent team. But if after Warsaw, Watford, Villa, and Southampton, if we don't improve, for me, enough, I would be like, okay, it's time for a change.
Yeah, I mean, I know I can't go back on what I said earlier in previous match watch-alongs because there's footage of it. But I know that I said things like, wait until 10 games have been played, wait until we've played a wider variety of teams. If this continues, then questions will need to be asked. And like, I defended Rodgers through all of that, and I still want to continue to defend him. But those things that I've said have happened. We're still 12th in the league, and this poor run of form has been continued. So again, while I'm not going to call for his sacking, I want him to meet with the board. I want the board to make their expectations clear, and I want there to be a demand of a change of tactic from him. I don't want a change of tactic by firing the manager because that's going to cause too much tumult in the dressing room at the very least. And it's not going to improve us faster than I could see just if we can get Brendan to do something different.
If I see next game, Amati, Suunchu, and Evans in the back, and if I see, the normal standard tactics and Schmeichel in goal in the Premier League, then I'll be like, well, we've not learned. I want to see Danny Warbin play. I want to see these other players. I don't want to see Jamie Vardy or Schmeichel start as much because we've had it now for 6 years. since we won the Premier League title, it's been the staple of hoofing it to Vardy, and maybe it's time now for a change, a spice up. Do something different. It's not working with the tactics we've got. So if we change something, it's not going to harm it. Any harm, is it? I can't see us doing well with the tactics we have got. So if we change it, the worst that could happen is everything's the same.
Yeah. The worst thing that will happen if we do something different is the best thing that will happen if we don't.
Exactly. We can't lose. If we say the same, we're going to lose. If we change something up, the best thing to do is we win. We play really well. The worst thing is that we do the same as we're doing now. So,
anyways, I know a lot of people have been calling for Jamie. I don't think they're going to be able to come on just because the reception around the KP is terrible. So I don't think that they're going to be able to tune in. But I will take this time to put on the show schedule if I've got that. 1 second. I've got to go to a different setup. Whoop. That just automatically put that up. Somewhere in here there is the schedule of games that we've got. I'm going to keep jumping around for just a little bit. I will get there. It is. So Jamie is going to have his aftermath show. I think that's not this week. Okay, we don't have this week's schedule up, but I believe Jamie either has an aftermath show either today or tomorrow, and that will definitely be where he'll be able to get all his opinion out. I hope you'll join him for that as well. Lee, thanks one more time for for another £1.79. I think we're probably just going to start to wind down this watch along just because
we could talk forever.
Exactly, but at the end of the day, we'll be saying the same things, that just something needs to change at the club. There's going to be people that either want to see the change be Rodgers' removal or the change be something that Rodgers does. I think every single person in a blue shirt today can agree that was not good enough a performance, and that we cannot keep going with more of the same.
Yeah, we need change, and we need change now.
But thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you to our sponsors as well for helping to support the channel. If you did enjoy the watch along, please drop a like, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. It will help us to grow the channel and reach more Leicester City supporters all over the world. And until the next show, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll all be hoping to see something better next time. Take care.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everard's, Pucka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Writers, Hologram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newbie & Co. Estate Agents. Make sure to follow us on all of our social channels at Leicester Fan TV. Visit our website, leicesterfantv.com.